So anyway, we have been recording for a couple of minutes now. No, just one.
What do we call that?
A chili open.
Cut.
Chili is a bit chilly
We
out.
call that cut content.
Subscribe to our Patreon and you'll probably get something.
I think we have uploaded
created
that.
I have
Did I
outtakes
still do
for our
that?
episode from the other night.
Did I do
Oh, good. Save outtakes.
Did I
Yeah,
do the
they're in a
intro
separate thing.
for one of our outtakes? I did intro.
Yeah, we recorded
remember?
one. Yeah. Let me actually, while we're talking about it.
Also, while I was editing, I cut out about 11 minutes from the first 16 minutes. So,
Oh no,
So you get 5.
I thought we had outtakes up on Patreon. We don't yet, but we do have Wes's Back to Electric Boogaloo up on Patreon.
well,
Oh yeah,
If
and
anyone
he's
would
not
like to
even
hear that.
here.
I remember
Also,
that.
there's a really good episode we did with J Mac.
Was that the first time you met Wes?
It might have been.
I think it was.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
we recorded on your couch.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That was a good time.
that was weird.
It
I
was
think
a really
I was drunk.
good episode.
That sounds right.
Probably.
Would you look at one too long?
Would you please leave me alone?
Made eye contact with that
No,
can for too long?
That
I
night,
think
no, shut
breathed
up.
on her.
Oh my God.
And she was like, "Oh god,
No,
second
that
hand drunk."
night we had done Beerio Kart, so I had down like 2 White Claws, and
Wait,
then we
that's a
started
lot for you,
recording.
actually.
I know, you guys tricked
I'm
me.
surprised we didn't go to the hospital.
Would you leave me alone?
Just give her a stomach pump real fast.
I can drink
They're pumping
alcohol.
her stomach
I'm an
like,
adult.
there's nothing in here, right? It's like, yeah. She has insurance. Don't worry about it.
I got some Wendy's fries up in there,
Okay,
and a
so
couple sips of Truly.
Bailey and I don't know how many we have had.
I know.
We're all about on the same level.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
I'm just weird.
I actually need to speed up or I'm going to have a headache soon.
Yeah, you should.
I've been here for like 4 hours.
So,
What's new? We're gonna talk about Game of the Year stuff.
2020's
we're
over.
doing our Game of the Year 2021. We're going to judge everything that's come out in the last 9 days.
We're gonna call it Worst Year, Best Game.
What came
Oh,
out
man.
this year?
Oh,
Ow.
Well,
this
I
year?
think I saw a new expansion for The Division 2.
And Destiny,
That
but I
doesn't
think that might have
count
been
as
the
new
end of
games,
last
though.
month.
Oh, no. I was just watching the news.
because we don't even have a
That's
category for DLC.
That is my bad.
That was really funny, and
Thank
Bailey
you.
talked
Anyway.
over it.
Sorry.
It's all right. I can mute his channel when I'm editing. Oh, wait. Bailey's editing. Mute your channel.
Just turn it off.
I'm gonna mute yours, and it's just gonna be me saying nonsense.
Anyway,
No, I will mute my channel.
let's introduce ourselves.
Okay.
Is that enough of a cold open?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you called it already, so it has to be now.
We've mentioned the cold open 2 times now.
So we're still like 5 behind.
I just breathed really hard into the microphone, and so
I will edit that out.
Do you want a couple seconds of room tone?
No, let's go. Hi, my name is Bailey. I am one of your hosts.
I am still Tanner.
I'm Emily.
Cool.
Yay.
We're all back again after not too long.
Guess
I
who's
guess
back?
from the last time.
Yeah.
Well, the last time I was on.
So the last time we
I think
recorded
that's the last time we recorded
was
C3.
Well, wait, that's what I
no,
thought.
because we did an episode with Norman.
I was about to say, y'all did an episode with Norman. Was
About
that
Cyberpunk.
C3?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Disregard my last comment.
we did do that, but it hasn't been edited yet because I have been very busy.
Yeah, heard.
So this one will probably come out first.
Hopefully not. I'm going to try to get
I'm
it done
editing
tomorrow.
it, and I have a lot of free time.
This will come out in about a month.
Hopefully not.
No.
Just
I'll get it done quick.
Can you post date this for December of last year when you put it up?
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, welcome to... Man, nothing bad's going to happen in 2021. I just know it.
I can't
No,
imagine.
I think that somebody
anything
posted
would.
a good tweet saying that last year, 2020, the beginning of the year, everything seemed really good, and then it went really bad. So now the beginning of this year seems really bad, so hopefully it'll go really good for the rest of the year.
Here's the thing.
That's not the life I'm used to.
I'm pretty sure that's just going to be the decade. So we still got a couple more years
No,
to
it'll
go
be
through the
fine.
bad. You
you
heard?
remember the last 20s?
I was
Whoa.
about to say, you remember the Spanish flu? That was about 1918 to a while later.
I think
Well,
we'll be
they
fine.
followed it up strong with the Great Depression. So,
Calm down, calm
Buckle
down.
up, everybody!
and then we got another World War after that one. So.
And that fixed everything, didn't it?
It's true. There were never any problems
Such
again.
a hot take. Oh my god.
It fixed the
The
American.
World War fixed everything.
It fixed the American economy.
For anyone listening, obviously that's a sarcastic take.
Is it? Yeah, it is. I just want to clarify that.
Oh, and then we got the boomers.
We're gonna
It's
be
okay,
boomers
we're-
one day. We're gonna be the version of
Well,
boomers
no,
where
no,
we're just
we
like,
won't, though.
man, you kids, you can just walk into the government building. We used to be like, can you?
We used
Now
to have to
we-
stop and check our assault weapons at the door.
Now you can just march right in.
But I mean, the thing is, we'll never be boomers, right?
Well, yes, no,
We'll
We're
technically.
just
our
gonna be
own.
millennials, or
We'll be our
you'll
own.
be something.
I'll be.
You're a Zoomer, aren't you?
No, please.
She's a zoomer.
I hate that. My sister's a Zoomer. I don't
Zoomer.
identify with that.
When were you born? 2000 or something?
1997.
I'm joking.
Old men,
When did millennials stop?
like 95
Never.
or
We never
96.
stop.
96. So you're like right on the cusp, as
And
the
then,
astrologists would say.
Astrologists.
What?
Anyway,
You been talking to the Cherokee psychic?
I wish.
she discovered my boyfriend was. She knew my boyfriend was on
see-
crack.
I'm so upset. Cody Ko and Noel Miller did that.
Did what?
They talked to a sidekick on their podcast.
Oh, man, we were gonna do that.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Eddie and Gus did that too.
Oh, you're right. That's how we got the idea. We
Oh
stole
my-
it from them. But yeah, Cody and Noel's was pretty funny. But anyways, we should probably get on topic because
Games, video games.
Yeah.
The world is not
Have
on
you
fire.
heard of them?
There is no fire outside.
I feel like 20
Oh, okay, actually, sorry. When I was
No,
on the
go
way
for it.
here, I did see a fire.
There
So-
was one next door. Okay, this is a good story that I don't know that y'all have heard yet.
Ooh.
So we got home, and there were a bunch of like fire trucks and stuff blocking Ocarina. You're gonna have to bleep that probably. So we pulled into the apartment, and like everyone was kind of standing outside looking around, and I was like, okay, what's going on? Like, did someone wreck? Because there's that curve over there. You never know.
I hate that curve. I
So
hate that
I
curve.
went to I guess my neighbors. They live in the complex, way down at the end where they could see what was going on.
They have cute dogs.
Further.
Oh.
it's like their dogs aren't cute. They have dogs.
So I went all the way down, and they were standing outside, and we walked by, and I was like, hey, what happened? And she was like, oh, there was a meth fire in the field over there.
Meth fire!
Hell
I
yeah,
was like,
brother.
what? She's like, you know the homeless camp over there? There was a meth fire in it.
Nice.
Everybody's gonna be huffing fumes for days.
Oh, sick. And then the internet went out from the meth fire.
Damn, that's weird.
Yeah. So that was a good time. Anyway,
Anyway,
There's never a boring day in this complex, huh?
there's really not.
I didn't see that cat when I came in. I missed that cat.
That's a good cat.
It's a good cat. Oh, it's been messing with my friend that lives across the parking lot. It's been messing with their cat. It just sits on top of their.
It's a good cat.
It's a good cat. It sits on top of the balcony
Patio thing.
That's the word, on the fence of it, and just meows it at Jack, and Jack just screams. And he's too big; he can't do anything. He's like 1,000,000 pounds. He's a big boy. But he's on a diet and he's doing great. Shout out to Liz
Shout
and
out
Jack.
to Jack. That's hard.
Especially Jack, yeah. She's the one that buys our merch, so
Oh,
shout out to her.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
the one that buys her. The one.
Yeah.
Well, it's me, my mom, and Liz.
Yes.
Me one day. No, I bought a hat, actually.
I just got an alert from our newsroom to remind me to tell you that cat came to our door, and it was going to come in. And
Our
it,
newsroom.
And I'm friendly with the owner of the cat, and so I was like, okay, like if it comes in, no big deal. I'll just let them know their cat's in my apartment. Bridget was not a fan.
I wouldn't imagine
Yeah.
so.
Bridget has never seen another cat before and lost it. So, no cats.
So I can't bring Zelda over here to play with
Oh, we'll just put Bridget in a different
Marty.
room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Say, you
thinking
can-
about getting a
you
dog,
can
but she
bring-
needs to see.
Zelda over to Tyga because he loves other cats. They just aren't very fond of him.
Zelda
Bridget,
loves anyone who will look at her. So
Tyga won't leave her alone then. But anyways, I wanted to say that 2020 was a very shitty year, but I think it was a
Whoa,
great
hot.
year for gaming
I'd say pretty good.
because everybody had to stay in. You know, there's a lot of games to play and everything.
counterpoint, I worked at GameStop for 9 months of the pandemic. Worst 9 months of my life.
I can imagine.
So it's good for,
'Cause you know
for
how-
if you were at home playing games, but moms whose little rat kid broke the controller that has been sold out for 2 months and then expects me to just produce one. That was the worst experience of my life, and I've been robbed at gunpoint.
Yeah. You know how gamers are notoriously clean, hygienic people.
Why won't you take my controller? It's like, sir,
I
there's
can
a bug.
see the COVID on it.
There's a bug on it right now, crawling, and we're not taking trades right now. So I don't really know what you want me to do.
Oh, man. Anyway, it was a fine year for gaming, I would say.
I think it was pretty good.
There was some stuff that was good.
Lots of delays too.
There was some stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
was not
But
good.
nice-
It's bound to
Necessary
happen,
delays.
yeah.
Yeah.
Necessary delays when you have to work from home.
I'll wait for something.
Um,
You know, it's not a big deal. I don't understand all the death threats.
Yeah, well, the
Yeah.
death threats if it comes out and it's broken. Death threats if it's delayed. You
Death
cannot
threats if
win.
You can't
somebody doesn't like the game also was
That
a big
was
thing.
wild.
It happened
Death
a
threats
lot.
if you do like the game. The death threat community was really against a particular game that came out.
Oh yeah, which one?
It was called. It was a little indie title called The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was
and there
thinking
was
Cyberpunk.
too much female representation in it. I mean, just
too
you know.
much.
too many ladies. All
Like
up in
I
it.
don't know why gamers are mad about this. I've never seen one in my life. What is this?
That's true. I'm not even here.
We are
I'm actually-
directly
Not
dissing
you.
our.
This
we're,
is-
not, we're not talking about us.
No. I'm saying that this is my announcement. I'm actually a VTuber, and I have been this whole time.
What?
I want to get a VTuber model so bad. Actually, do
I
you know how expensive they are?
I don't know enough about what it is, but
there's a
For like the
couple-
rigging and
you
the
talking
model
about
itself is like
HoloLive?
$800.
I'll send you a link that I found earlier.
Okay, cool. Because I don't want anything crazy, but I want something. Yeah, like HoloLive. They're VTubers. So
I see that subreddit pop up sometime, and it's always gross.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't want to. So let's move
I
on.
like a.
Anyway, yeah.
Never
Now-
mind.
now
I'm
that
talking
we've-
about what I like.
Now
Thank
that
you.
we've thoroughly
Thank you.
attacked our target demographic, let's move on.
Hey, boys.
You just
Just
never mind. You just ruined everybody. All of our male listeners.
Oh
They've gone. There's a
like,
girl here.
A girl.
no, we'll be fine as long as
Wait.
they don't learn that she has a personality and her own preferences.
Can we move on now?
They're all toys. Just like your weapon in Cyberpunk.
Don't make fun of my main, bro.
Hey, I would never make fun of toys.
Okay, so let's I don't know. Should we just start with Game of the Year and work backwards?
Oh no, we end with Game of the Year. You guys want to start with maybe best
also-
ongoing game because it
I don't
sounds like it's
have
not
a
like
full
part of the
list,
year or
Yeah,
anything.
we can do best ongoing.
I'll go first.
Mine's definitely part of the year, but
All right, go for it.
Mine's not. Dragalia Lost.
don't know what that is. Cool.
It's
Well,
a mobile
you said You
game.
played it, didn't you?
No, I played the other one.
You
Oh,
said you
great.
tried it.
No, the other one.
What are you talking about?
AFK Arena.
Oh, that one sucks. I did pick that up
Huh?
this year.
Just because they put out Joker and
Yeah,
Queen.
and then they were like, I looked it up and it was like, hey,
I
if
got
you
so
actually
tempted.
want them, give us $15. Otherwise, you're gonna have to play this for like 10 hours a day.
I'm
And I was
nominating
like,
Raid Shadow Legends.
please.
So. No, My best ongoing game is Animal Crossing because it is one.
But that's well.
I'm gonna say that for probably this year, but
It is.
I
It's
wouldn't
a
say
games.
for like on.
It's a games as a service game. It comes out with regular seasonal updates.
yeah. And
Okay,
so
There's
when,
no
Okay, that's
overarching
I hear
narrative.
you. Yeah.
That's fair, and that did come out in 2020.
I also
Um,
just real
and it's
quick.
the
I
one
want
I
to
played the
explain
most.
Dragalia just super quick, because no
It
one knows what it
sounds-
is.
It's a
Yeah.
gotcha.
It's a gotcha.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it's actually got like a really great story and a lot of interesting characters, and they're all cute. So that's why I
played
like
it.
it.
I
I
don't
like
know
it.
what it
It's
is.
fun. Or it's not
Newsroom.
like breaking.
I don't understand this game, and I have to protect my children from understanding this game.
There are too many anime girls for your children. Lots of boobs,
Oh, but like,
and it's Nintendo, so they're like tasteful.
Oh.
They're not.
okay,
yeah.
They're anime boob girls, but it's fun. Okay, Bailey.
I put Valorant.
of course you did. That makes sense.
That's yeah.
yeah.
I just think like all the updates coming out, they're putting out new. What do they call them? They don't call them champions or agents.
Legend.
Just character. They're putting out a new character soon, and he looks really cool. All their updates have been super fun, and all the balancing has been pretty decent, actually.
I saw a post the other day complaining it was becoming like Overwatch.
What's there to complain about there?
That's what I'm saying.
It's a great game, Overwatch.
I don't.
Speaking of, do you want my Overwatch mouse?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't
Um,
see any issues with the game. I think they're going in a good direction.
Well, there is an issue with one character who can smoke and agitate the point and move while they're teleporting, and
That's called a
Okay.
pro strat.
I was
it's a minor glitch.
wait.
but-
What are you talking about? Overwatch?
I'll send you a link to it.
Valorant?
Yeah,
I think I have.
there's
heard
a
of that.
little bit of a glitchy character that can do some pretty cheap stuff.
It sounds like Omen, but
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't learned all the characters yet.
Man, we don't know. We just show up.
But yeah, I
anyways.
mean, Valorant's cool. But you know how our Game of the Year awards work. We have to frantically argue until one of us wins.
I'll go with Animal Crossing.
Well, that was easy.
I
I'm not going to be able to convince you to Dragalia.
I just don't think of Animal Crossing like as like an ongoing game because it also came out this like in 2020.
It came
did,
out, but it
since
has
it
free
came out,
updates.
like
Since it came out, like they had the summer update where you could do swimming. They had the
wait,
winter
did
update.
Valorant?
With...
I think Valorant came out in 2020.
I think it did.
Yeah, it did.
Okay, my argument
Dragalia
stands.
came out.
100%.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just
Valorant's
don't
like, it's a
if you think
perfectly
about
fine
it.
game.
Well, what I'm saying is like, how many people still play Animal Crossing compared to people that are still playing Valorant? though?
I think Animal
I would
Crossing.
say probably the same number of people.
I don't think Animal
don't think
Crossing
so.
loses player base at all.
I think it does.
I think it just got quieter.
Like,
and
even
then
I still
every
check in
update,
sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody got it because it was like, oh, sweet Animal Crossing.
It
There's a lot
came
of
out-
hype around this game.
Well, and then also, at least here, the day it came out was the day that they shut everything down.
Yeah.
So, because that weekend was supposed to be South by Southwest Gaming that I was going to go to, I was also in charge, because I was the assistant manager over here. I was in charge of the Animal Crossing launch. I had a bunch of events planned, and then the day before, the city was like, you cannot have a gathering of more than 10 people. And I was like, I was going to have 5 people on staff that night, so I don't know what I was supposed to do. That's a lie. We had a 4-person staff at that point.
Well,
But-
I will yield, just because
This
there's
is not-
no,
This is not the hill that I want to die on.
but it's
But I
fun.
know I can't convince you to
fine.
Dragalia, and I'm not voting for that.
Yeah,
so.
no, you won't. Neither of y'all have played Valorant, so
I know I
haven't
I
played
know
it
I
yet.
should. I know we would like it.
I think
Yeah.
I
probably.
would like it.
It's exactly my type of game. It's 2 of my favorite games put together, but I just
But you haven't played it yet, so that's fair.
In that
And I have
vein,
played Animal Crossing as well, and I do think it's a
Oh,
great
you've
game.
played more than me.
Yeah,
I've played a lot.
I grinded that game. I think it's a great game.
Oh,
There's nothing wrong with
and-
it. I just think for ongoing game,
I just
I
remember
got
when
my
it
Animal
started.
Crossing Switch. I got a replacement, so I've got
Nice.
one that works
Yeah.
now.
Hell yeah.
So
I remember when it came out, like I was talking to Bailey because we were gonna get together and try to film something for the channel, and I was talking to you, and you were like, "Oh yeah, right now I'm just like island hopping, trying to get as many octopi as I can."
no,
And
I was trying to get tarantulas.
That's what it was, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Why are you?"
because they sell
like,
for a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why
That's
are
how I made
you-
all my money.
like cool, but wow. You
Yeah.
know? That's intense. That's intense.
No,
for
Well,
a
when I
guy
had to
crosser.
restart my
grinded
island,
that game.
yeah, when I had to restart my island and I lost like a month's worth of grinding, a bunch of friends came over to my island and just like gave me a bunch of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so let's keep track of who won. If you won the category, just put like a little tick mark by it.
Oh, I'm just
I'm gonna forget to.
leave mine.
Let's
or
see,
something. I'll put
ongoing.
an X next to mine.
I'm just gonna put the list ongoing. Animal Crossing.
Okay,
How
In
about-
that vein, let's do remakes.
yeah.
Okay. This is the hill I'm gonna die on.
Me too.
Oh
though.
boy, me too. Tanner, go first.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2
I knew-
remastered.
duh.
I know what you're gonna say,
Oh.
and y'all might know what I'm gonna say, but they're all different games.
I have a feeling, yes, I know what each of you are gonna say. Here's the thing.
Go ahead and say it for us.
If I think what Bailey is going to say is correct, his is definitely on par with every argument that I'm going to make about mine.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, and you
but
guys
I think
didn't
it
play
could
mine,
be fair
so
for hers as well.
Persona 5 Royal
Yeah.
and
Yes.
Persona 4 Golden
You
are
put 2 for this one.
well, it's Persona. I'm
Persona as a
I'm
whole.
lumping them together because
if you had to
they're.
pick one,
If I had to pick one, Persona 5 Royal.
because
It
it's like more
is-
content.
Well,
Yeah.
so Golden's basically the Royal version of 4.
Yeah.
But
hasn't Golden come out before? So it's like a remake of a remake.
it was out for Vita,
Yeah,
the PlayStation Vita, that ever popular system.
but it is still a remake. So
It's still a remake, yeah. But I would choose Persona 5 Royal. It is so the original game. I think I put a lot of time into. I have a picture on my phone of me when I finished the original, of me just bawling because I was sad and happy and had so many different emotions. It was like 150 hours. I had played it over the course of a year, so like it really felt like I actually went on this year-long journey with the characters and stuff. And then Royal came out, and it fixes things I didn't know could be fixed. Also, it has the best Metacritic score of 2020. It's
That's
got a
fair.
95.
That's good.
That's fair because you're taking on a game that already had
It
was
already
one of the
had
best games.
yeah, and then they made it
building
even
on
better.
it more.
And then the new character is the cutest,
I
and I
think
love her.
that's why it doesn't work in this
Oh,
category as well.
Oh, the new character, but not the new character in Scramble, or I guess Strikers is what it's called.
Strikers in the States. She won't be in.
yeah,
in
because
Strikers.
I mean, wait, the other one,
Uh,
the one
Kasumi-
from Royal will not be in.
yeah,
Strikers.
Kasumi won't be in Strikers. That's going to be Sophie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay,
Um,
let's hear
and I'm
yours
gonna play the
before
crap
we
out of
argue.
that.
Final
too.
Fantasy VII
That's
remake.
Exactly what I thought yours would be. And
I-
here's-
Literally, like,
I've got that in my home. It's still in the wrapping. I bought it in like October.
literally you're taking a game, calling it a remake, but it's from so long ago that it literally makes everything fucking better. And not just that, they're not doing the exact same story. Here's where my argument comes in. They're not doing the exact same story. This story is now like evolved to where this could be like a parallel universe of the first story. So it's kind of like a sequel too to the first one.
Okay.
I've also got another entry.
I have no.
No.
No,
I have
everyone
stuff
shut
to
up.
say.
Hold on. Destroy all humans. That's
Oh,
a,
yeah.
that's a
That's-
joke
I mean,
because
that's
it
a
was
fun-
That's
it
a
was
fun game,
It
but
was
it's
It's
actually
a fun little one.
Everybody, would you let me
match
talk?
up with these. Like,
No, it's actually really bad. Is the joke?
Oh, really?
I didn't like
the
it
quality
at all.
of the remake isn't bad.
I
though.
never played
It's
the
fine.
remake.
I
so-
played the original. It's not how I remember it, but also I'm not like 9 anymore, so it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, 9.
So-
That's how old we all were.
9 when the game came out.
I don't think
There's
that
no
tracks.
fucking
I think
way.
you were like 4.
I think I
I
was
was about to
7.
say, I think you were
well,
way
yeah,
younger.
but when it came out on the Wii. My dad and I played it on
yeah.
the Wii.
That's real bad.
What?
That's a whole bad sentence.
I also played it on PS2,
Yeah, that's better.
There you go.
So,
but
You're back into the cool kids club. Let's go.
great. Thanks,
so
guys. It was still a joke.
a lot of the arguments I was gonna have were the visual differences, the
that's-
differences to mechanics, and
Yep.
yeah, this is all stuff that applies to both of ours.
Yeah, exactly.
And
The
mine.
only one argument I have is
Quality,
the story.
yeah, quality of life differences. You have the story, and my argument is that the entire thing came out. It was actually 2 games instead of 1/3 of one game.
Ooh,
So-
wait,
And
that's a
then-
good argument as well.
And there's a extra third of Royal.
Yes, but you like.
I'm dying on
think-
this hill.
I think it's more impressive to take something from the past and make it that much better than it is to take something that was already really good and just add more to it.
But on the flip side of that,
That is
you made
true as
something
well.
almost perfect and made it somehow even better.
Yeah,
And that's incredibly
also
impressive.
True. That's also true.
There's
And
a lot of good points
also-
here.
But
I
when I'm
would-
looking at remakes, I don't want a remake from a game that came out like recently.
That's
Is
true.
My opinion.
And
That's
like,
incorrect.
I'm not a Final Fantasy.
I'm sure I'd love Royal,
You
and
would
I've already
love
watched
Royal.
like a bunch
I've played
of
a little
playthroughs
bit
and
of
My
it.
shit.
last-
It's pretty.
My last
neat,
argument.
but
The music.
Well, yeah,
It's
but you
flat.
can't.
bro,
Wait.
you're gonna come at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater over the music?
Okay, you're gonna come at
Yeah.
Final Fantasy over the music.
Final
That's
Fantasy
like what
music
they're
is
fucking
good.
known for.
Final Fantasy music is good. Tony Hawk music is ska.
True.
Yes. And what's wrong with
That's an
ska?
insult.
Ska will
It's
never
literally-
die.
It's not for everybody.
I'm trying so hard to
I
kill
feel
it.
like the soundtracks within Persona and Final Fantasy are like for everyone, and then for Tony
I'm
Hawk
start
is
playing
more
it
for,
right
like,
now.
How
They won't
often do you
copyright
get
strike
in
it.
your car and you're headed to work, you know you're going to have a long day, and you're like, you know what would help me out right now? Some orchestral. Like,
This
that's
is what I was
need.
listening to on the way here. It's
Nice.
Persona.
You're an exception.
That's
I
fair.
really do
but
like,
this song, Slet is. Anyway,
What's your favorite song?
My
Superman by Goldfinger.
that would be a really
Sell
hard
out.
question. Wake Up, Get Up is so good, but Life Has
Yeah,
Changed
it's
is just amazing. Beneath the Mask.
Beneath the Mask is a banger, and I really like the Smash remix of it too. Is really good.
It didn't have to go that hard.
And then obviously Last Surprise is like a given just for like Persona 5 fans in general, but
Music fans.
So,
true. Honestly, they're really
I'm
good.
not a fan of Final Fantasy, but I will say what they did with that remake is astounding from
right
a technological
It's neat.
perspective.
because
Like,
it's huge.
yeah, and the original game, I mean, obviously I respect it for what it is, but it doesn't appeal to me to play now. But the new one really does.
I actually just recently played the original one. I got it on Steam.
Yeah, and I mean, sure, I'd like to get into it, but like the original
if you
just
don't like JRPGs, then it's not
See,
for you.
and I
Like,
don't.
Neither
that's
of these
literally
games
what it is.
are
Well,
for you.
and so I don't like a lot of.
But I feel like Persona would be more open to a bigger audience than Final Fantasy.
I don't like a lot of
I will
what
say.
Persona is in its DNA, but it does add up to something very cool.
Mhm.
But like
Persona.
I think-
my childhood was built on Tony Hawk, so
What if I
So
agree to
that's-
vote
that's true.
for it
Me
for
too, though.
multiplayer?
But what I will say,
I can compromise there because I am nominating it for
Vote
that
for
too.
Persona.
but I will say
Or party game or whatever.
where I think that Persona 5 and like Persona 5 in general, I think is probably
Perfect
a
game.
better game than Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
It is.
But I think Final Fantasy 7 Remake
say
is
that
a better
without playing.
remake than
See,
Persona 5 Royal. We're
that's-
talking about the best remake.
That's
not
what
the
I
best
also
game.
think. I think Tony Hawk and Final Fantasy are both a better remake than Persona 5.
Persona.
And I
really like Persona 5 a lot.
I think Tony Hawk is a better remake because it remakes the whole thing.
What
Like
if...
They remade the whole thing as well. They even did a
Well,
whole different story.
so-
I don't think Tony Hawk did that.
My issue with
That's true.
they did change up some stuff, but
Well,
no,
okay.
they didn't do a whole different story.
They
But
didn't.
my issue with Final Fantasy VII Remake is I don't at this point have any faith that the other two parts are going to come out.
They're
ever.
going to.
It's going to take 15
It's going to
years.
take a while,
But,
not
like-
15 years.
Well-
Hey, 15 took 10 years, okay? Different story.
Yeah, and that was one full game instead of 2/3.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is now they have the base game down. This is different. They're not going into these games like I don't need to argue this point. This isn't the point
No,
I need to argue.
this is not the point.
I think it is the best remake of 2020, hands down, because it was literally of what a cult following of people's nostalgia and shit, and took it, and they're adding on to it now, and there are going to be sequels to it, regardless of when they come out.
The best way I
But
heard it described...
It revived this whole like fan base.
Well, the best way I've heard that described is like the series of remakes lately. Oh, also Resident Evil 3 was really good.
I was tempted to mention that
Resident
one as
Evil was
well.
good, too.
That one was really good.
but not the best.
That's a,
it was Persona.
That'll be a...
But it's
what do you call those?
honorable mention.
Yes, honorable mention.
But these remakes are giving you the game that you remember instead of giving you the actual game. So
And-
it's the game like how you remember it.
I think Tony
So-
Hawk
'cause
nails
you
that.
remember Final Fantasy VII like being gorgeous, and you look back and it's like that's a bunch of triangles and
But
polygons.
then look at Advent Children, Final Fantasy VII, the movie that came out. It looks just like it.
I don't know what that is.
It
Yes.
was literally a movie
So-
that was like way ahead of its time for animation and CGI.
So, I think on that basis, technically, okay, I think Tony Hawk does a better job giving me what I remember, and I think Final Fantasy does a better job giving me what the artist was thinking when they were working on it.
And Persona
Which
got
is-
more perfect.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing too. Is like when I'm thinking remake, I want to see which game grew more. You know, I'm not trying to see one perfect game get even more perfect. I want
am,
a
if it's
game
Persona.
that people had loved when they were
Wait,
children.
I have an
which we
imitation.
both picked.
I have an imitation on one of my regulars I would like to perform now.
Okay,
Persona. That was really good.
Persona.
He told me one
I
day
don't know who
that
you're talking about, but I believe you.
I am so scared that he's going to find the podcast one day, so I won't get
Yeah,
too
yeah,
specific.
no names.
Well, I have nicknames, but
Okay.
I can't even be specific with that. But I'll tell this story that he told me once because this I feel like.
Well, maybe you shouldn't.
No, I'm going to. I feel like this is just such a wide range of the people that might listen to this. But one day he told me that he wanted to get one of our Harley Quinn statues.
Yes,
And
I'm
then
familiar
he said,
with this.
Yes. And then he said, you know, it's always
Please
been.
cut that.
it's
Bailey,
al-
cut.
Gotcha.
It's always been a fantasy of mine. Well, he said he wanted a girlfriend.
You've told this story on the
To-
podcast before.
and it's still traumatic, so
I
please
think
let
I
me
missed
tell it. Yeah, I think he did. He wanted a girlfriend so that she could dress up as Harley Quinn, which is how he kept saying it.
This is weird.
Yeah, hold on. And I should mention, I was in the store by myself. He said, I wish I had a girlfriend so she could dress up like Harley Quinn because it's always been a fantasy of mine to dress or to make out with Harley Quinn.
To just make out with her. What a innocent young man.
I don't know if you can say much more at the counter at GameStop.
I want to fuck Harley Quinn.
I was alone in the store and he looked deep.
with
He said, "Damn, girl, you look
looked-
good in some clown makeup."
He looked deep in my eyes while he was saying that.
That's weird.
And I wanted him to leave.
The
And every
confidence,
single
though.
time.
I mean,
He's so gross.
That's
You gotta
still-
give him
that's still
some
super
credit.
Weird. No,
He's
I
so
We
disgusting.
shouldn't.
Credit for what?
Harassing
game
a
recognized
woman?
game.
Anyway, I did also sell him on Persona, and that's how I know he says it just like that, because he would come in talking about this stupid talking cat. I wish he would shut up. I know. Shut up. Please, leave me alone. Go home. And vote for Persona 5 Royal as best remake.
Okay, so I will say the point I'm at now is I'm more inclined to think that mine and Tanner's choices are better for remake. Just because the game is so recent, and that's
No,
what
I hear what
think
you're
about
saying.
this category.
And we should include a category
But-
for
I'm also still
That.
very set
Best
on
Persona
mine.
game. Persona 5 Royal.
Just because we hit all the marks, but improving on story and sequel direction, I feel like 7 gives more hype than Tony Hawk.
But I
Yeah,
so
I
I think
agree on that.
I think they both give equal hype in different circles
Yes.
because each
Some
one
of the same
has
circles too. Because
yeah.
I'm in both
I mean,
circles.
there's
Well, there's-
crossover for sure, but like
It's a Venn diagram.
yeah, for sure.
like because there's a huge community for Tony Hawk still, and I don't know, it's cool.
It was really good for the streaming community too, because there were 2 big streamers, Clint Stevens and Moon Moon, who did this challenge to each other to see who could get the highest score
Yeah.
in one combo, and they both got crazy scores. And
Not
they
to
even
brag, but I got 8,000 once.
got nice. They even got Tony Hawk after it was while Moon Moon was holding the highest record, and then Clint Stevens just beat his record, but Moon Moon still sent him the video of Tony Hawk saying, "Oh, hey Clint, heard you lost the challenge. Like, and he goes, and they're just like both laughing at it, like watching the clip, and Moo Moon's like, it's not the same anymore. Like, it did do a lot for the community in general, for like gaming and streaming, but I feel like, I don't know, Final Fantasy VII was just better.
Wake up, get up, get out there.
Changing mechanics to more like,
Actually,
I like what they did with the combat.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I
Very
think
cool.
that Wake Up, Get Up is actually not
That's a
in
good
Royal. So, but that's fine.
So, okay. I don't know. I'm going to concede this point, but Tony Hawk will come back.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Who
fair.
do you vote for?
Huh?
What are you voting
Final
for?
Fantasy,
Okay, well,
obviously.
Okay,
I
cool.
felt like I made that apparent.
you did not.
We talked about it earlier.
I
Okay,
wasn't
cool.
listening. I hear only
it
what I
needed
want
win
to.
Something, and I think that's probably the best.
That's a
thing
good
could've
spot
won.
for it. Yeah.
What is Persona gonna win then?
I don't know. Best game from a couple years ago.
Best indie game. Sorry, Atlas.
It's
All right. What's next?
You guys want to do party game? Just get it out of the way. Party game family.
I've got a
next?
pretty good nomination for that.
oh, is it Tony Hawk?
No, it's not.
Oh,
Oh, Tony Hawk would be a good one as well. Though.
then I
But what do you-
nominate Tony Hawk.
Is that what you were gonna do?
I mean, yeah. I
Well,
don't,
when
I
you
don't
hear
have
mine,
any-
you might be
Okay.
on board with
I
mine.
was
Okay.
gonna say with mine too, but what's yours? 'Cause we might have the same
Mine
one.
is Mario Kart Live Home Circuit.
That's what I picked. Let's go. It's
I
so
was
fun to
joking.
play with friends.
It really is.
I stick with mine.
That's fine.
But, like,
I mean,
that's
there's
fine.
already two, so
Yeah, I
yeah, it's
enjoyed
really-
it.
It's a great party game.
It's a cool novelty that I wasn't expecting to like as much as I did.
yeah.
I think I
Me
liked
too.
it exactly how much I thought I was, but I also didn't put $100 into it.
Yeah.
I
That
didn't either
helped a
though,
lot.
and I thought like I went into it thinking like, oh, this is gonna be kind of lame, and then when I played it, I was like, this is really fucking fun, and we had a lot of fun like chasing Bridget around and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's just
And it's
fun.
like when you're playing it, you can see the possibilities of like
Exactly.
what you could
do a bunch of stuff
rolling
with
through
it.
your head. And you can do multiplayer on it.
And
We
I
don't
think
have two cars.
It's a great
but
party game
I
because
was
it's
about to
more
make a really dumb
interactive
joke.
with like everybody setting up the track to like make a track and stuff. You know, it's a great party
And people
game.
arguing like, we don't have enough clearance around this corner. We need to put that one over here.
Exactly.
I want
So,
to make a joke.
yeah.
Can you promise you'll cut it?
Yeah, I got you.
Sorry, I was too busy having sex.
Nice.
That's also not
Well,
true.
wait, there's
I'm
still,
laughing
there's
'cause
still
I know
a
it's
bunch
not
of
true.
games that we're gonna go through that joke will still work on.
Okay, so we're going to give party to Home Circuit.
Yeah,
Emily,
Mario Kart.
you have to concede.
Well, she
I
doesn't.
don't
'cause
actually.
it's already
If the
majority.
president has shown us anything, I do not.
All right, I'm going to get a mob together and
home,
storm
I
your
love
apartment
you.
later.
No, but that would be the supporters. Anyways,
Coming in
let's move
for
on.
just Tony Hawk, just a bunch of thugs, just a bunch of weird kids going like, "Hey,
Hawk
man."
Thug.
Yeah, I said it, and then I went, "No, that's not right."
But
Well,
it
no,
is.
Punk.
Thug.
No, Thug is right because it's Tony Hawk's Underground.
Thug
is
and Thug
a
2.
game. Yeah, those were great games. I can't
I'm
wait for
so
those.
funny.
I'm ready for those.
That's so funny that I did that.
Yeah, you
that was
got
on
it.
purpose.
Nice. So we're gonna move on to what did I say? Family game next. Who else
I
picked
nominate Animal Crossing.
I did not. Oh, I did.
All right, quick one. Cool. Animal Crossing was great. I think
I
it's
think we should argue about this.
very fun
Well,
to play
hold
with your
on.
family.
I feel like
It's
Yeah.
like the only
It's a
really
very
family
family-friendly
appropriate.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think like what else could go
And
in
it
this
gives
category.
you a great lesson for your kids in how to
Don't
swindle
trust
other
raccoons.
kids out of their dad's money to pay down their
I think
own
they're
debts.
Tanukis.
I know, but that's not the joke.
They're what?
No.
Well, I don't want to
Tanuki.
get into this.
It's a raccoon dog.
I think it's more closely related to dogs,
They're called like.
or I think it's their own thing
the
or something.
description for it is raccoon dog.
No, I know.
So
I was just trying to make a fun fact.
anyways,
So anyway.
let's all put a check next to that one since we all
Animal
picked the same
Crossing.
thing. That's a good one. I think it
Yeah.
deserved. It
I mean, it
deserved
was-
something.
It's
this year.
definitely a game that came out this year.
I think it was great for
So-
2022 because it felt like.
No, that's next year.
Yeah, well, I knew somebody was gonna make that joke, but
Tanner's
like,
smiling. I want that on record.
in a time when we can't go out, like just being able to like visit your friends' islands and like feel
Yeah.
like you're outside in a game, become
It
immersed
was
in
really
that.
perfect for everybody.
I think it was good.
Well, and then even like I mentioned, when I had to reset my island,
it
because
did
my
have some
Switch
weird bugs.
broke. Well,
and
yeah, but
weird weird creative decisions, not
Yeah.
even
Weird
bugs.
Yeah, I
'cause
was about to
tarantulas
say-
are weird.
For bugs, sure. At that point, they were pretty weird bugs, but now it's just like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
I just
Sometimes
liked
you
all the
accidentally went in the
dinosaur
water.
facts.
I love the dinosaur facts. No, but like I was saying, when all my friends came over to my island to help me rebuild what I lost,
Yeah.
like that was like a month into the pandemic. I hadn't seen most of them the whole time, except the ones that I worked with. It was just really perfect.
Yeah.
So
Great family game.
great game.
Cool.
Next.
Let's see. You want to do indie? Just let's get all these like
Yeah.
smaller ones out of the
Do
way.
indie.
I put Among Us. I don't like to like that game, but I really do.
Look,
I think
okay.
it's so fun.
It is a very cool game. It's a great.
It's also
Like-
just taking off of an idea of games that have already
Yeah.
been made too. So there's that. But I think it was also really good for 2020. A game you can play with all your friends, have fun, be able to talk to them. In a game where you're like forced to talk to
Multiplayer is
another.
a different category.
Well, no, but I'm just saying like this is indie. Like,
No, I know.
And yeah, it came out in
I-
2018, but we did decide that since it did.
It's like how
really
Lizzo won a
only-
Grammy. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good like comparison.
I know.
But,
That's why I made it.
But yeah, I mean the game didn't
Also,
really get
she deserved
popular
it. I want that.
until 2020
on record,
That's
yeah.
fair.
I vote Bug Snacks.
I haven't played it, but
I'm
it
gonna
looks
go ahead
interesting.
and say no.
It's so good.
I also
You
love KKB, so
honest hand to God, hand to heart, whatever. I don't know the saying. You would love Bug Snacks.
Maybe I would,
I think I would
but
too.
I
It
really
reminds
think
me
you
of
would.
like Spore.
my
It's so much more.
we don't talk about Peter Molyneux in this house.
We do not. It's so much more than what is shown on the surface. And I really don't want to give anything away, so I'll be super vague. But it's just one of those, like, it was really, really refreshing. And really good and surprisingly deep. And also has
I just
incredible voice
edited
acting.
you saying that last time.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think you've.
I
said
stand
this, but,
by it.
But I
So I'm nominating what the golf.
Are golf with friends?
No, what the golf.
I don't know
Is that
what
the one
golf
on
is.
the Apple?
Well, so
TV?
it came out on everything. Switch. I played it on Apple TV because I
Okay,
have
that's
Apple
what I
Arcade.
was-
It's the one Donkey played
I
where
haven't played it yet.
you golf and you turn into different things.
I have.
Wasted way too much time on that game. Like I came and sat down here one night and I just could not stop playing it.
I will
So
have to concede to Bug Snacks
Yay!
just because I think it does have a very great soundtrack as well, and the
It's super
art,
good.
the art direction's super cool too. I really like it.
the
Like,
art direction looks like a TV show from
it
like
looks like
10 years ago.
Spore.
Stop mentioning Spore.
Sorry.
I'm
Sorry,
going to mention
that was
Roly
like-
Poly Oly again.
That was like really aggressive, and I didn't mean it to me.
Well, good show of its time.
It's a good show, but it's
Roly
terrifying to look at.
Poly- No, it's not.
Yes,
I had
it
so many
is.
good memories with that show.
Yeah,
I
no.
was,
Anyway,
like drinking a
I
juice
remember.
box, like eating
Something?
Uncrustables.
Hey,
I have Uncrustables in my
I was
freezer
gonna
right
say,
now.
I
Uncrustables are
still eat
dope.
Uncrustables.
I still drink juice boxes. What's wrong? I don't understand.
I got apple juice in my fridge.
But yeah, I think I'll concede to KKB to Bug Snacks
She
just
did
because
the
I
theme
think like
song.
all together it's probably a better game.
Probably.
And it's just like,
Okay. I think What the Golf is as good a game.
it's a
But
great
it-
arcade game.
It's not for everyone.
Also,
Yeah.
this seems more like story driven.
There's really a lot of story.
Yeah.
There's
that-
no story
And
in What
yeah,
the Golf.
exactly. And there's
Yeah.
no story
But-
in Among Us either. But I just think it was good for its time. For like, I think this was the perfect time for Among Us.
And on that note, let's go to multiplayer. I nominate Fall Guys. It brought the world together for about 2 weeks, and that's really
I think
what
that's
we
true,
needed.
but also,
Tony
like,
Hawk.
Okay, that's fair. Also, I put Valorant. But
Okay.
I will say that I think Fall Guys had a good run while it did, but it didn't last very long. I think Valorant and Well, Tony Hawk didn't even like.
Oh, it's still going.
Well,
and Fall Guys could be argued that it's still going.
Yeah,
But it
exactly.
isn't.
Well, no, it's like Pokemon
it's the
Go.
same thing
When
with-
everyone was playing it, it had like 100 million players, but it still has 10 million players.
But I mean-
there's still a lot of people playing it. I think that's fair.
So even if it's just 10% of who was playing before, which is probably, that's typically about
So
where it drops
I
off.
would like to make one point,
Yeah,
and only one.
you never played it.
No, I played.
I never
That
played
one.
it.
times.
Or wait, I played
I
it
was really good at it. I never got a single crown. Though.
Tony
once.
Hawk
So you weren't.
has.
I got to the last round almost every time, even just straight from the back. Hey, Tony Hawk has.
Go ahead.
Local multiplayer, which hasn't been a huge deal this year, I will acknowledge, but it's something that we have all done.
I think that is cool.
It would have been great had it come out when I was living here.
Counter
True.
argument.
Also, I'm
Valorant
glad it
is an
wasn't.
esport now, and it's probably going to last a while.
I mean,
I just want to go ahead and
yes.
give a spoiler. I am conceding to Tony Hawk.
No, I
So
think
fair.
Valorant's a great multiplayer game, but it's like a different kind of multiplayer.
I think when y'all play it, but also I think in the thought of multiplayer, that saying you can sit down on a couch with like somebody and play it, I think that's better too. So I'll
Yeah.
also concede.
Yay, Tony Hawk gets a thing.
Yeah, it'll get one.
Wow, that's the
I
only
think that's the
one.
last one it's going to get, unless it gets story
Oh, just
somehow.
Game of the year. No, I do. I'm really excited for Valorant, but when I think multiplayer, I don't immediately go to like competitive multiplayer
I think
online.
I think that's fair.
I go to Smash and Towerfall and
It's
Tony Hawk.
competitive multiplayer online. What are you talking about?
Well, no, okay, it's competitive multiplayer
But it
here
does have
on the
co-op
couch.
too. Yeah,
It's more competitive here than it is anywhere else in the world.
I don't know for who.
Me.
Him. He makes me cry every time. That's not true.
I make
Everyone.
everybody cry every time.
That is
Not me,
true.
baby.
You
I
remember the
every
first time
year
we
when
met?
we do this, I can
based
hold
on-
my own a little bit better.
Yeah, that's true. You're getting better. You're progressing, but you just don't play as much as me, which is also fair.
You remember the first time we met based on how badly you wrecked me in Smash.
Everybody got upset at me.
I also
They're
just
like, "Whoa,
edited
bro,
that
you
story.
didn't need to go that hard, and I was
and you
like,
say that every time, and I think
I-
it's very funny. And you say I played Yoshi, but I really don't remember that.
"You did play Yoshi."
Yeah,
I don't know who
I
I
hear.
played though.
Yeah, you've got so many different
I'm
memes.
inclined to tell you that you did play Yoshi, but I just edited this story, and you mentioned playing Yoshi in that.
Because he tells me that every
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
So I don't know. I'm just going on Bailey's word.
Anyway,
It's not the end of the world,
It
even
was
if
the
I'm
first time we
wrong.
met. It was special. The first time I met Tanner, he was a driver at the same pizza place.
the first time I really met Bailey was he was showing me a pillowcase that he got as a Christmas present.
Oh, I've seen that pillowcase.
I was like, "Hey, I heard you got a funny Christmas
Ah,
gift," and he was like,
lame.
"Yeah,
Yeah,
check
I
it
got that
out."
one away. Tyga tore it to shreds
Oh,
because I
he
had
was
it
jealous.
up on my wall, and he would just scratch it up and try to climb it. And
You
I was
had
like,
it in
okay, I
your
can't
you had
do
it in
this
your
anymore.
closet for a long time.
After Tyga tore it up, that's why I was like,
Ah.
I can't have it up on the wall anymore because Tyga's just gonna fucking tear it down.
He didn't like it.
He didn't. He gets very jealous.
The first time I met Tanner, I don't remember it. We worked together briefly, and I just remember your
Well, I
2 week
came in.
notice.
I came in because we hadn't worked a shift together,
I don't think we ever did.
but I came in to like pick up a check or something, and I saw you. And
That's not how that worked at all, but sure.
I came in for something to pick something up from someone.
Yeah, but you were always in there buying stuff, even when I was...
Fair. So, so I came in, and I remember seeing you, and then I didn't really think anything of it. But then Ethan later was like, "Hey, what do you think of that Emily chick? Like,
That
what do you
me.
think?" And I was like, "I don't think you two would get along at all.
I love him with my whole heart.
You are way too Republican to approach her."
I love him with my
That's
whole
funny.
heart, and we have discussed that if we ever dated, we would kill each other just based on politics.
Yep.
And that's
That's
very
fair.
important for
We
both
miss
of
you,
us.
Ethan.
So, Ethan, come
I
back.
miss Ethan too.
He challenges my ideals.
He
So-
does do that. I watch his Instagram stories and I go,
So we just did multiplayer. We conceded to
Tony
Tony
Hawk.
Hawk.
Tony Hawk, baby.
So do you guys
That
want
was
to
what
move
I
on to maybe best art direction now?
Yeah,
Yes.
but I think we're all on the same page here.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh no, I think you two are on the same page. I think
I'm going with
vote
I think that I
Ghost
will
of
agree.
Tsushima.
Nikki the Home Alone golf ball.
Oh wait, I think I will agree. Probably, but I do want to put mine out there at least because it deserves some recognition. And I
Final
think
Fantasy?
no. Because that art has also been like around for a while. Like I said, it looks exactly the same as Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, the movie.
It looks like the concept
Totally.
art.
I don't know what that is.
I
You
have
have
it
to
on
watch it
Plex.
sometime. Actually, the
You have
dialogue,
everything on Plex.
the dialogue sucks, but it's a beautiful fucking thing to watch.
I
I'll
actually-
just put it on while I'm going
My-
to sleep and just watch
Exactly.
it.
That's
My
a good way to
first
watch it.
exposure to Final Fantasy, I was at a friend's place, and we went to the video store and rented. Yes, the video store, and
What's
rented
that?
rented Advent Children. We rented Advent Children and Final Fantasy VII, and we
Hell
watched
yeah.
the movie. And he was like, "Dude, I've heard this game looks just as good as the movie. I'm
Nope.
stoked."
Nope.
We put it in, and I was like, "I guess that's the guy."
You know they have like mods now that make Final Fantasy VII Original look a little bit better. It's still not great, but
Yeah, it's called the remake. That was funny in my head.
But it was,
Anyway, art direction. I vote Ghost of Tsushima.
yeah, I think that game is beautiful. We,
We
talk
all
on it for a
know
minute.
that I simp for this game. The art direction is incredible. Even the way that you interact with the world is artful. The wind
Ooh.
blowing in the grass, the foxes, the birds, like
So,
it's all.
I have an argument for this actually.
I have not said my thing.
Go ahead.
So I really wanted to say Cyberpunk here
Oh,
because
I'd say it's more of an aesthetic than art direction.
yeah, on paper I should love Cyberpunk's art.
Well, I think not so much art, but like the aesthetic. Like I'm saying, like you can say like
the
like,
aesthetic, yes,
like
but
cyber, like
Even the art.
samurai,
I hear what you're
like
saying.
shit. But like the art itself is just like it looks like newer games.
yeah, well, that's kind of my point. Is even the art that is in the game, which there's some,
Yeah.
I look at it and I like the aesthetic of it, but it's not. It's special in any
Yeah.
way.
Exactly. It's not unique or anything.
Yeah,
Even
and
the tarot
so that-
cards are like,
That
okay.
Yeah.
would be my argument as well with Ghost of Tsushima is like it's a very beautiful game, but also Breath of the Wild already did this.
Whoa. No.
I think it's different enough to be like, oh, these are
It's
different
super,
games,
super
but
different.
it's still very similar.
I know I just made a face. I don't agree with that at all. I see what you're saying, but
I might have to
art direction wise, then because the way you interact
I'm
with the
going
world
with
is
what
very
the golf again.
Well, I'm not talking about
Very
how
different.
you interact with the world. I'm talking about the art, though.
the art's really different. To
It's
me.
very, very similar. It's very like cell shady. Like
It's not
similar.
self shady.
I've seen the game a lot.
I have 260 frames
I've also
a second.
heard so many comparisons that it looks
No,
just
it-
like Breath
It's
of the Wild,
inspired
which
a
isn't
lot.
bad.
It's
because
inspired
Okay.
a lot by Breath of the Wild.
I've decided I'm going with Call of Duty Warzone after a quick Google of games
Okay.
that came out last
Okay,
year.
but after we'll talk about yours more. But I still haven't said mine either.
Sorry.
I did not pick Final Fantasy VII. Don't be sorry.
Oh,
You're fine.
definitely thought you did.
No, I didn't pick it for art direction at all.
Oh, yeah,
I think
we
there's
interrupted
one
you
that
twice.
really, really deserves it, but I think you guys might not be on the same page with me, which is fine. Also,
Valorant.
No, because it's also not a very well.
What are you going to say?
No, we'll talk about yours some more. Go ahead.
Okay.
We were in the middle of an argument.
Yeah, so there's also the stories that I think he's just called the storyteller.
Let me specify real fast before we get more into this. I don't think the characters look anything alike. I think the environment looks very similar to Breath of the Wild.
I
That's what I'm
guess-
saying.
Yeah, I guess the models are different because I feel
Because the
in my
characters
head-
look very, very different.
Yeah, the character models are much more cartoony in Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
and much more realistic in
Wait.
Tsushima, which is a big part.
You're telling
of,
me
Please don't do
that
this.
Ghost of Tsushima looks different from The Legend of Zelda when it comes to characters. Jin
Okay.
Sakai does not look like an elf who slept for 100 years in a bathtub.
and
Well, it
that's
kinda
also, but that's
does,
also a big choice. That's also a big choice in the art direction. But also with the art direction, the aesthetics of the world and the actual art when stories are being told. So like those
I
big
know what you're
ink
talking about. And then also you can turn on like different like modes.
Kurosawa
to make
mode.
It, yeah.
It's
Okay.
like the art direction is just
So
incredible.
my whole point with like that argument was not to like shit on the game at all
Because
because
it came out like it.
yeah, it did. But it's just more so to argue my point for something more unique, I
What's
guess,
that?
Go for it.
because I picked Hades. I think the art in that game is
That's a good
fucking
call.
amazing. Also very unique too, I think.
It is unique, and it is good. It's just not my thing.
No, that's
You know?
fine. I get you. But we're just talking about art direction. We're not talking about the gameplay or anything.
But you don't also, you know me, and really the Japanese art direction thing isn't my thing either. So,
I've got.
I think it's fucking beautiful.
It's one of my favorite games to look at like ever.
I think on like
It also,
It really
to be fair,
depends on
I did
my
spend
mood.
so much on that game. But then also, like the collector's edition I got came with a lot of physical art stuff, and then I also have bought more art
I
of
feel like
the game and from the game, and I bought the soundtrack and everything. So like,
with Ghost of Tsushima, I've never looked at a game and felt so relaxed.
Yes.
I feel like, like it really gives you that feeling. Like,
And then
it's
also-
just so beautiful.
and I am biased. Like that aesthetic is my aesthetic.
Oh, yeah, well,
like
I mean,
We talked-
I literally have
You've
a
got
bunch of Japanese traditional
tattooed, yeah.
tattoos. So
we talked in film school about what my aesthetic is, and no one agrees with me, so
what is
it
your
not,
aesthetic?
like-
Outrun.
Oh,
I love Drive's aesthetic, and you were like, it's not good.
Wait, what?
Outrun? It's a subset of Vaporwave.
It's not worth talking
Oh,
about,
okay.
to be honest with you.
Well,
It
I
is
was about
worth
to say,
talking
it'd be
about.
Okay,
something-
it's
it'd
worth
be
listening.
something like
Hey, everybody,
Vaporwave-ish.
if you want to know more about Outrun, you
I
should
do.
listen to our podcast.
I love Vaporwave when I'm happy and Outrun
C3
when I'm
Film
sad.
School. He talked about it for an hour.
Nice.
Hey.
I'll check it out actually because I wasn't there, so I'm gonna listen to it.
So I'm gonna go with.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna. Well, I'd like to
I
throw
just want
out.
to say one more thing. No, I'm just kidding.
I'd like to throw out some
I
honorable
just think
mentions
it's funny. Yeah.
that I don't want to nominate because I had already chosen something when we came to this. But I think Grounded should definitely be looked at because that was
Bugs, right?
well. So it's your mini. So it's
yeah,
a
I was just
fairly
thinking about the spiders. That's all I know
a
about the
fairly
game, really.
realistic art direction, but a
Oh,
little
yeah.
cartoony and everything's a little special. I think it's neat. And that was an aesthetic that I had wanted to rip off for my own game that someone already did.
Mm.
And I'd like, and this is going to sound dumb, but I'd like to talk about Astro's Playroom because
I do like the direction of it.
I think
art
it's
direction is
admirable.
cutesy.
I think it's admirable that they have this character that I think they created for PS3. I think there was a game with him on there. PS4 was when Astro really came in with
Yeah.
the Playroom there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's admirable that they've managed to make what could stand as like a mascot
Yeah.
Yeah,
out of
exactly.
nothing.
I
So
think
And also, that game is like gorgeous. It's optimized for
Also,
PS5,
it's very
but it's
fun.
like
we all know that Crash Bandicoot is the mascot.
it's actually
Oh, man.
Cat from Gravity Rush.
I wish, honestly, but no.
I'd be so
Sadly,
happy.
Sadly, no.
but in the end, I also had picked Ghost of Tsushima. So
I was going to
I
concede as
love-
well, actually. I
just
think that
love
game
it.
gives me, like, better feelings when looking at
it's
it.
just
I think,
happy to
Also,
look at.
Yeah,
every
it is.
time,
It's
every time I
beautiful.
think about the art, this is super dorky, but like I get goosebumps.
I do want to say, though, that Hades deserves, like, a lot for what it
Oh,
was.
for sure.
yeah.
And I didn't nominate it for anything else, and this was the best thing I can think to nominate it for.
Have I shown
yeah.
you my Ghost of Tsushima art that I got?
I think you did, yeah.
Okay, well I'll show you again. Sorry,
Okay,
go ahead and
fair.
talk.
But I don't know. I think it's kind of sad that it gets beat out on a lot of these, but I mean that's just how it goes. It's definitely not my game of the year or anything. That's cool. I like that a lot.
I'm gonna send you a link to his stuff. You would love it. Shout out to Ukiyo-e Heroes. Google that. They made a documentary about the boys.
Can you spell
Jed
it?
Henry. UKIYO-E.
Okay.
Ukiyo-e.
Cool. So what's next?
So hold up. I'm thinking maybe we go. Do we want to do best, worst, best, and game of the year at the end, and just finish off with story right now? Or wait, we didn't do worst yet. We
let's
can do
do-
worst at the end as well.
Let's do story, and then those two that go together, and then worst in Game of the Year.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
All right, so story. I picked Cyberpunk.
Oh, I knew you would, but also I haven't gotten far enough into the story to know anything. I know that I really like Jackie so far.
Yeah.
He's cool.
So it's not at all what they promised.
No.
I'm going to say a lot of broken promises, but what is there of the story is really good.
Really good.
Okay.
And there's only one other game in my head that it went up against, and I nominated that for something else.
What
So
game?
you'll see.
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
Well, here's the problem. I don't know that I have an entry other than like Red Dead PC launch.
I should say I have also finished Cyberpunk.
I haven't, but I'm also I am enjoying the story. I'll just go ahead and say some things because I know there might be some questions based on how much I talk about like Ghost of Tsushima. The story is basic.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
that. And I love it. And it's so fun, but there's not really any surprises.
I agree. I
Like-
agree as well.
Same with like Valhalla.
I was
It's an
emotionally
Assassin's Creed game.
invested in both of those stories,
Yeah.
but from a structure standpoint, like
It's
they're just the most
very-
basic hero stories.
Yeah.
So-
So that's why I would just want to go ahead and say I'm not nominating those because I totally understand
Yeah.
that they're just not
I
worth.
think it's a different. That's not what that game is for.
No,
Yeah.
I think
it's
it's more
definitely
of a
the
visual,
gameplay, and the
aesthetic,
visual.
like, and
It's
gameplay
so
wise,
good.
like, yeah. I mean, you can't hit all the marks, and if you do, then you're Persona 5.
I get
but-
hello. Oh yeah. I guess yeah. I'll you know what? I'll nominate Persona 5 Royal.
That's pretty good for story, actually. I put Final Fantasy VII Remake again, just because it changed the story.
Here we are again, aren't we?
Because it literally changed the story up. I've never seen so many like reaction videos to the ending of people crying their eyes out because it brought in so many new factors of like maybe this parallel world of one of the most beloved characters who died.
Maybe
Like,
she won't.
yeah.
previous in the game. Well, not even her too, but a different character. I'll just say Zack was like the one who gave Cloud the Buster Sword
Yeah.
and everything. It was like his mentor basically. And there's like at the end you find out he might not have died, and so many people fucking lost it. So for that has to go for story for me. So
Honorable mention: Last of Us.
yeah, definitely.
I don't think any of us played it.
No, but
Yeah.
I heard it was real good.
I know all about the story because my
Yeah.
friend Matt is like obsessed with those
Yeah.
games.
I know
so-
all about the story because I worked at GameStop and people are rude.
I know all about the story because I have the internet.
Yeah.
There's that too. Like it did get like leaked early, and I was like, I'm not interested. Let's see what it is.
But I will say, on an emotional and a structured standpoint, I think that Final Fantasy fucking killed it with this story.
I mean, I can see that.
But you're also
But,
not
like-
Final Fantasy fans, so I don't expect to like
Yeah.
change y'all's minds on this. So
I have
kinda
Final
let
Fantasy. I
y'all-
know that I'll like it because it's. I mean, it walked so Persona could run.
I'm
Yeah,
very
basically.
interested in it. I
Yeah.
just,
But
you know.
I'll let y'all
one of those I
figure
can't.
this one out. I think I'm gonna die on this hill though, and I probably won't change just because this was like a very emotional game for me to see the ending and shit. Like I actually cried watching the ending and stuff. Like I didn't play it. I will
Yeah.
say I did not play the game because I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't.
Simply get a
Play the game.
PlayStation.
Yeah, simply do that. But I would.
Come on,
I
I've
would
got two
love to.
PlayStations in my home. You're lacking.
I would fucking love to play this game, and I have already like watched so many full playthroughs of it and everything because I'm a diehard Final Fantasy fan. But yeah, for story it goes for me, and for story I didn't have to play it. You know, I just
Yeah.
had to watch it. It was literally like a beautiful fucking movie, and that's what Final Fantasy kind of is.
Cyberpunk just played on a lot of latent fears that I have, and it was kind of effective in a lot of those places.
I can't speak too much on it because I haven't played too much.
That's true, and I don't want to say too much because it's pretty new.
But I do think it is super interesting. I will say. But I
is-
still think for
And
story-wise, I think
Persona
even in the
5
end-
is just a perfect game.
Oh yeah, you pick Persona 5 because I know all the new story and shit in it too is like really fucking good.
Really good.
Oh man, this is tough for me.
what
I don't want to
You
give
didn't
up.
play it.
I don't want to give up on
Played
Final
a little
Fantasy
bit of
7, but
I played that part in the
do y'all?
casino.
I'll let y'all argue about this because I'm kind of set for now. But I mean, if y'all are set, also just talk about it some more.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think that Persona 5 Royal is just fantastic.
It is, I'm sure, but I don't know.
Look, I'm ready to vote for Cyberpunk.
the
So
story.
that's the hill I'm on. Because again, Bailey, you haven't really played much, but it does take.
I've seen all the story, and I'm honestly like ready to switch over to Persona just to. If I had to pick,
I say with Persona.
if I had to pick one to win, I'd rather it be Persona than Cyberpunk, just because I know it's kind of dumb, but it's more
Because you
emotional.
prefer the Japanese
Well, not just
stories.
that. I think. Well,
Okay, so
Not
now
just that.
so then
There's-
to actually argue for Persona, I think that if you play
it builds
Persona,
a
it's
lot
gonna
on the
build.
story.
Well, there's that, and then I think also there's just a lot of like latent fears that you would have as well.
Probably. My big thing is a good chunk of that story is not from this update. Like some of it is.
They update a lot of little things in the story.
but it literally like changed the whole series with this with the update,
It
if
does.
you want to call it that.
So
it's
I
like
won't-
setting it up for.
I won't
more.
get into spoilers, but like it does completely change the ending, which does change the framing of everything else.
I'll change
I
to
don't know.
Persona. I'll
I'm
change
still-
to Persona.
Persona!
I still
still
think
on
Final
Cyberpunk.
Fantasy VII Remake
Also-
deserves so much, and maybe we'll see more with the other 2/3 of it. And I'm excited to, and hopefully fucking Square doesn't fuck it up, and I know they won't because they don't.
There are
I'm
moments.
writing down Persona 5 Royal because I want it to win something.
I think it deserves to win
It's
story because
fine.
the story is super like I'm emotionally connected to
Also,
that story.
the new
completely.
character, she's just
They're-
fantastic.
She's so cute.
Oh, and
There-
yeah, like there's so many new characters that I just love.
Honestly,
love.
introduced one of my favorite characters, which I don't know. This might be spoilers, but spoiler, just like human
Here,
Morgana too.
I'll take a break.
It's like just a handsome
is a
boy, just a handsome boy.
It's a big spoiler.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody kind of knew it whenever they showed trailers and shit for it. But yeah, I'll concede to that. I think that one deserves to win something this year for sure. And Final Fantasy VII for us already won Best
Has already
Remake,
won.
so
Yes.
I will give it that.
And then we'll pause for Tanner to get back. Quarters are 25 cents.
All right.
Yes, he thought it was a nickel. 20 plus
20 more
5
cents than I thought.
Okay.
is
I didn't
25.
hear what you had
Anyways,
said.
So-
cut back. Here we go.
Cut.
We're back.
I want to say one more thing about Cyberpunk before we move on. The
Okay.
story. So we talked about emotional resonance. There are things that are definitely going to emotionally resonate.
Yeah.
And further than that, you know about some of those things.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it's because it's an RPG, in order to get the story, like you get different stories for different things you do.
I also think that's a good counterpoint as well. Is that
It's-
there's so many different endings you can get and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Or
hard to-
more endings you can get. I shouldn't say.
I
so
guess
many,
my
I don't
biggest
know.
issue with Cyberpunk is that it doesn't branch off as much as it promised it would.
It doesn't.
So it's hard to love the story as much as my
It's not
expectations.
like a Mass
but
Effect.
Yeah.
as far as, well, it is. It's exactly like a Mass Effect
Yeah.
3.
It just
But-
comes down
so-
to the 3 buttons.
Not as many
And
different.
one of them's DLC.
Didn't Mass Effect 3 have like 27 different endings?
No, Mass
No, it
Effect
had
3 had
3
2.
endings.
Really?
3, but one of them was DLC.
One of them was
Maybe
DLC.
I'm thinking of a different
Mass Effect 3, no matter what you did through all 3 games, you basically ended up with like a blue laser or a red laser.
And then
was
they
the
added a
ending.
green
I
laser.
think I was thinking of a different one.
So, but there is a moment that you have to really look for coming up that's connected to another moment that resonates emotionally,
The sentient
Oh,
vending
boy.
machine.
and it punches you in the gut. So, I haven't hit it yet. I saw it on a YouTube video. because I didn't know about it.
If you haven't cried at it, then it's not as emotionally.
I have not cried
But I'll
at
say you don't
media.
cry.
I have not cried in
I,
cry a
media
lot,
since
so-
My Dog Skip. but I maintain that that's worth it.
I cried at Final Fantasy VII.
I bawled at the end of original Persona 5.
I was about to say, with Persona 5, I have cried, not just with the game, but also the anime as well.
I get
Yeah.
choked up for the weirdest things, though. So
You're odd.
I
That's
am
fine.
odd.
All
There's
right.
nothing
I
wrong
have
with that.
emotional connections that aren't related to what's going on in the story to things that don't make any sense.
All right,
So,
let's take it to a good bad note. We're going to talk about the
worst.
best bad game and worst good game.
Okay, so
which
let's
do you
do
wanna
best bad
first?
first.
So
Okay.
Best Bad is a game that shouldn't work, but it does.
Yeah, and I would like to nominate something that I think strongly fits this.
Yeah.
Maneater. Oh man, Maneater is so fun, and it should not be. You just flop around as a shark and eat stuff, and it should have gotten old by now, but it hasn't.
That's fair. Maybe I'm on the wrong track for this.
There are some bosses.
What's your...
What's yours?
I was going to say Bug Snacks, because it shouldn't work as well as it does.
But it okay,
And it's
I'm
really,
just
really
not
good.
going to say anything.
No. What's yours?
what's
because
yours?
I can come up with something else.
Mine was Cyberpunk, but
Oh.
I think
But
that fits
it-
better in
but-
the other category.
exactly, that's what I was going to say. I put it for both, so.
No, but like that kind of works too.
But it's not it does what it intends to do.
I think
you know, it's
that
not
we-
it's not bad in that perspective. I think it's
Yeah.
bad in the other perspective, so it makes more sense for the other
And
one.
I think that we should revisit. I think Cyberpunk should count for 2021 as well, because it'll be like
Yes.
No Man's Sky. It'll have another, like, it'll have a 2.0 update.
Yeah,
I'm hope-
definitely.
That should hopefully fix everything, and it'll be a different game. I
I hope
hope
they don't fix everything. I'm having
Not
fun
yet.
with some
No,
of the
it is
bugs.
actually really, really fun. It's just like they just need to polish.
Yeah.
Which is
and
what
then-
they said they've been doing for the last 3 months.
and they probably have, and it really is a big, big game. But
Fair.
some things just feel so overlooked. But whatever. I go Bug Snacks because it shouldn't be as good as it is.
What did you say again?
Maneater.
Maneater.
I've played one of these games,
Yeah. And I just...
And I think you would love
but
Bug
I think the
Snacks.
game does what it intends to do.
But Maneater does what it intends to do, but
But
what
it
it
shouldn't
intends
work.
to do should not be any good.
My
like-
vote is Tony Hawk. I'm just kidding.
The thing
Final
about Bug
Fantasy
Snacks
VII
is...
Remake.
I don't think Bug Snacks at its core is that bad an
It's-
idea.
I feel like it's
I hear what you're
not
saying.
a
To me-
great idea for what they advertised, though.
For Bug Snacks, yeah, it seems like it should be like spore with food, and it's not.
Yeah. I feel like when I look at it on the outside, and I haven't seen it on the inside yet, but I really want
You
to
would
now,
love it.
is like, I feel like from what you're saying, and I trust your opinion, is that
Yeah.
I would have to agree that it's probably the better,
So, okay, but
best bad game.
here's my thing.
What are we doing right now?
Here's the thing. I'm voting for Maneater.
the thing is, I know a
I
lot
would
about
also
Bug
vote for
Snacks.
that too. Like, I'd vote for either of them
Mm-hmm.
just because I trust y'all's opinions, but also I played the game.
I think Maneater fits it more.
Yeah,
I think it is more of
More,
a
yeah.
like there was no real hype around it or anything, and
There-
it was looking
well,
like
not
it was
in
going
the
to be a really
mainstream.
bad game.
yeah, it's a bad game that turned out
that
fun,
turned out to be really
okay,
fun.
So one of the ways that I can tell,
and it is still bad in some ways.
With Bug
Yes.
Snacks,
Oh,
at
for
least
sure.
there are things I'm looking forward to, like
Yes.
Caro Caro Benito soundtrack. So
But one thing I will say, this isn't quite related, but it's in the same vein. So working at GameStop for so long, I can tell within a trailer or two if a game's going to be good.
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and from the first Maneater trailer, I was like, this is going to be fun.
with Bug
Yeah.
Snacks, I was
And then
like,
also we had so many commercials for it, so I feel like, yeah, maybe in the mainstream there wasn't much hype, but I feel like I heard about it all the time. So I was really excited for it when it came
yeah,
out.
you have a biased view of hearing about it all.
are we
Yeah.
doing best bad game right now?
Yes. best bad game.
Gotcha.
So I
I'm just gonna
think
put an X next to mine.
I think Bug Snacks. I don't think it counts as a bad game. I think it over delivers on what you're
I
expecting.
guess that's the way I would put it too.
but
yeah.
I never looked at it and thought
Honestly,
that's
just
a bad idea.
there just weren't really many bad games that
well,
were
I
fun.
kind of did look at it and think
True.
that was a bad idea.
I looked at it and
I
thought
looked at it-
I
that's
was
not
like,
for
how
me.
is this going to be fun?
That's exactly what I thought. And
No,
it's,
I saw
it's
it.
so good.
I saw it and I thought that's an interesting idea for a mechanic. Like as
I will stick to my guns and at least say that I'm switching to Bug Snacks. If you're still switching to Maneater, that's fine.
Ooh.
But-
Well, let me finish my
Because I
point.
don't
Yes.
think like that game is like it's set out to what it advertised.
But what it advertised
should not be as
is
fun.
bad.
It shouldn't be, because I remember there was a iPhone game like Hungry Shark or something like that.
Yeah, well, there
but
was Shark.io.
There's still the
Or
same
Fish.io.
thing that I said
But-
whenever I played it. Is this reminds me of Feeding Frenzy, a game that I love.
Yeah.
And like it's super nostalgic for me because you just eat more, you get bigger. And,
Well,
like,
but
that's what
also
happens.
it's a full RPG
no, yeah,
as
it
a
is.
shark.
It
And
is.
when they said that, I was like, that's stupid.
That should not work. It's dumb.
But,
and
like, I
it's
had to
so
try it.
I feel like
fun.
I've played more RPGs than y'all then because I feel like that could work. So that's where I'm at. I mean, I don't think anything's going to change my mind. I don't think that if somebody pitched me the idea, hey,
well,
like,
okay.
if somebody pitched me both ideas saying, hey, a shark RPG, you're a shark.
A shark PG,
And
you might say.
You grow as
Thank
you
you.
go.
I want it on record that Tanner nodded and smiled with it.
did. That was a good one.
Thank you.
God damn
That's
it.
all I wanted.
Cutting that. No!
No!
I'm just kidding. I'm joking. But if somebody pitched me that compared to, hey, it's bugs, but
You can eat
they're
them,
snacks.
and you eat them and you turn into them.
Yeah, and if they told me that, like,
Okay.
more so I would be on the road of being like, hey, let's do this fucking shark game. Fuck the
But-
bug snacks thing.
But from a different perspective, which I hesitate to call myself any kind of developer, but I have worked on
you
games.
You should literally call yourself a developer, especially if with all the classes you're taking. Like, you should.
As someone who sits around and tries to come up with games and is working on games, and
You don't have to say game developer, but you're a developer.
that's fair. The idea of Bug Snacks is original in some way,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
for
what
sure,
way.
for sure.
but it is original. So,
In its own weird way.
when
It's so weird. And
when
it
I
just
saw
gets
it-
weirder.
and I know a great deal about it because I listened to the podcast that we're definitely not copying talk about it.
Man, I just showed, for the record, for any lawyers, I just show up.
What podcast?
I don't
Filthy Casuals.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So
No, we've
Our
talked
newsroom
about
said
them many
shh.
times. Honestly, we shout them
I would
out. Like,
love to have them on the show sometime.
if we literally like have any listeners that have not listened to Filthy Casuals, they should listen to them also because they're awesome.
Yeah, they're great. I listened to their review, and I know when you're talking about the depth that it has, the hidden depth, I know what you're talking about now. And
That's
Still.
best discovered on your own, I think.
I agree,
I don't still, so I'll discover.
but
it
I'm not
that way.
planning on
Nice.
playing it anytime soon.
It's,
but
you have it on your account.
yeah, but I
Wait,
don't
you
have any
have it?
room to download it because I have
It's-
Cyberpunk.
It's 9 gig. I had to delete it
It's
to
only 9
download
gigs?
Cyberpunk. Something like that, yeah.
So I don't think there's anything about
If only it was on PC, I'd totally
It
get
is.
it. Is it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna get it.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna get it with my first paycheck.
Let me double check.
I don't think there's anything about Bug Snacks that qualifies it as a bad game for the sake of this category.
I think that it's considered a bad game
Other
with
than
the idea that's
the
put
look
out.
of it.
Exactly.
But like,
Yeah, it's on.
Well, you can say the same thing about fucking. It's a shark and you eat stuff. Is that a
I
bad
think it's
game?
I think it's an Epic exclusive.
Oh, I have Epic, so
Well, yeah, it's free.
it's
Epic,
free.
Epic is free. I mean,
Oh, I was like, it's free on Epic right now.
no,
no, I think what qualifies the Shark PG.
no. In the spirit
over
of the
this.
category, Maneater.
I think
100%.
Maneater fits better.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I
I'm
think
still
that.
I'm still on Bug Snacks.
Yeah,
but
I think that Bugsnax shouldn't have worked as well as it did, but I also don't want to put it in a category of bad game at all because it's just really good.
that's fair.
And Maneater like is objectively ridiculous.
It should not work, and
But-
it does.
I think it
Okay.
would work though.
Worst
but
good
that's just me.
game.
Worst good game.
Mine's gonna
I
have
already
a
said-
caveat.
I already said
I
mine
think
was
we have the
Cyberpunk.
same thing.
I don't think me and you.
I could be
do.
persuaded to
I already said
Cyberpunk,
Cyberpunk,
but
so-
mine is Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I literally
Mine-
played the game for like 30 minutes and it crashed on me once.
It crashed on you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you were
while
in the bathroom.
gone. It just
Sick.
crashed.
So he got the full experience.
Sick.
Yeah.
Mine is the game formerly known as Gods and Monsters: Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Ooh.
I think that it was.
Whoa.
I know. Please don't look at me. Well, and that's not even. I've got 2 entries for this, but the other one's going to
So
be the
Ubisoft
worst
is
game.
filling up this
No,
list.
I know.
why do you not like? Why do you think it's?
I
a
think
worse
it's.
I've
good
heard the
game?
dialogue
I-
is grating.
I heard the
I actually
dialogue
think
is
the
goofy
dialogue-
and fun.
The dialogue's goofy and fun. I can understand why it would get grating, but
I'd
I
like
think
for you to listen to the review that I listened to.
I wouldn't,
which is
because
Filthy Casuals.
I still enjoy it. I do enjoy it. I want that to be clear. Ubisoft, please still sponsor me. But I feel like it could have been so much more. Especially, it's the same team that made Odyssey, so the expectations were so high, and it doesn't deliver on a lot of them. It feels very like
Well, I think on a lore
surface level.
on a lore standpoint, it goes pretty deep. Is from what I've heard.
For the lore, yeah, but it's
I mean,
you know,
it's Greek mythology, so
so
That
it's
lore's already there.
yeah, it's not anything original from
but
that
there's nothing
point.
wrong with that either.
No,
I mean,
definitely not. And but the way
like
it was
Hades a
done,
lot.
yeah, but the way it was done in Odyssey was just so like exciting and new all the time. But in this one, it feels like Genshin Impact. Honestly, like it feels like
Oh,
Immortals
like
could
gameplay-wise?
be a little bit, yeah. It feels like it could be a mobile game pretty easily. And then it also has the main issue that it runs into.
I don't like the look of it. I'm just gonna
I
go
don't-
out and throw
I
that
mean, it's
out.
Breath of the
I-
Wild
yeah, I
again.
It's
don't-
too stylized for
I
me,
don't
and I
love-
don't like the style.
I don't love the stylized,
Is it Breath of the Wild again?
but it's different
But Breath
because
of the
it's
Wild
Ubisoft.
felt like it had more heart.
Yeah,
you know?
and the
It did,
game,
though.
Yeah.
yeah, and Immortals has heart, but it takes some time to find it, which is an issue.
Yes. 'Cause
Which
time
is why
something I'm not big on right now.
No, I hear that. And it's one of those, like, I think it could be so much more. And I'm still going to buy the season pass. I'm really excited, especially because that team is actually going to tackle Eastern mythology, which is super exciting. But it's
Wait, that's sick.
I'm super
I was gonna
excited.
make a dumb joke, but I won't.
That's probably for the best because I just said Eastern mythology.
I was just gonna make an East Texas joke.
Goat people.
Fair.
East is to the right
Great.
on a map.
East is.
Hold on, I
yeah,
got a compass
that way.
on my arm.
It's we. Remember?
What did you just say to me?
Anyways, I get what you're saying, but I still think that
That's East.
Cyberpunk failed out more on being a super hyped up game that a lot of people got upset
So,
with.
and I think it really fits the mold for this category because it is.
And I think it's a very enjoyable game to
yeah,
play.
it's a good game
it's-
that's really bad.
It's also
Yeah.
really addicting.
Yeah,
Like, it's...
I can see that. Like, I was already like, I'm thinking about buying it on PC just to play it. Like, honestly,
Well,
But,
and like the
but-
joke that I've got running at work right now is I'm stuck in a toxic relationship with Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Because like I don't like the game and I love it. I can't stop playing it.
yeah. I mean,
I did
I've
get
been there
burnt out
for-
last week. I got to a certain point and I was like, I need to set this down for a week.
think I've
And
been
that's a
there for,
miracle.
like,
and it's been I put like
8
50
years,
hours into it, goofing
maybe
around.
10 years now. League of Legends.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a toxic relationship.
So
for me.
I still
play it
think
consistently, but
Valhalla is worth considering
Okay,
because
that's fair.
on every level it should be a good game, and yet
Wait, have
I
you
have
played,
no
you've
desire
played
to-
other Assassin's Creed?
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So,
So
Assassin's
you think
I got
that
him
it
to
should
play
live up to
Odyssey.
be a good game?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the
Hey!
Assassin's
joking.
I'll
Creed
kick you out of this
Valhalla
home. I paid rent 1 month.
is the Assassin's Creed 3 of the Rebirth franchise.
And I think that's a good way to put it because I really liked 3 and I really like Valhalla. But
No.
I don't.
3 was very dull, and so is Valhalla.
But I also like.
And 2 was very good, and so is Odyssey. And
Odyssey's
1 was
so good.
fine.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, 1 was the beginning of it all. So.
Yeah.
Well, and then this is
And
also
so
the
is
same team that
Origin.
made Origins, and then Gods and Monsters is the same team that made Odyssey. So Ubisoft just put out a slew of disappointing games that aren't bad. They're just like, well, Valhalla to me it's just an entry. Odyssey was like it's still
It's the defining one of this iteration.
I think so. And it's so good, and I'm so excited
Just
for
like
that team to get
the
back
Ezio
to it.
trilogy was the defining one of that iteration.
Yeah, and I hope they get back to it.
I'm willing
But-
to concede mine just because I think that it's a good enough game for how bad the glitches
Oh, I was
and
going to
everything.
vote for Cyberpunk.
Oh, well,
See, I'm also like
do we want to do
I'm like
Cyberpunk?
halfway between.
Because I think Cyberpunk is more so like the differences in like
In the
how
spirit,
good the game is,
yeah.
and then also how bad it is.
In the spirit of this category.
In the spirit of this category, yes, Cyberpunk.
So do we just go Cyberpunk or
Yes.
what? Okay.
But also Valhalla should be noted as being
No,
quite
yeah,
bad.
I think
And also Immortals Phoenix Rising. And then
I don't want to say it, but I haven't played it yet. So,
I'll
but
go
from
ahead
all the
and
reviews and gameplay I've seen, like,
it's really fine.
See, but Valhalla isn't even fine.
Valhalla, I actually
also,
I
like,
do
in comparison to our two games, that one didn't get as much hype. Is
That's
what I would
true.
say.
It
like,
did
Because
in
I
my-
wasn't even
down-
sure what you were talking about
what
when you
comes
mentioned
down
it.
to like
it did in my circles, but that's also because
like,
I'm like really
worst good
involved.
game, like-
yeah. Well, I'm really involved in like the Assassin's Creed circles, so the people that are a huge fan of
Yeah,
Odyssey
yeah,
were
that-
really looking forward
that
to
makes
it.
sense. But
So
I
it's really disappointing.
I would argue the same thing about Final Fantasy. It's like
Yeah.
it's hard for me to get you guys on board with that because you're not a part of the same circle, you know?
Well, I'm also already on board. Like I have it. I just need to play it.
Yeah, I get you.
But I think that's a good segue
Well-
to worst game.
Yeah, we're
Because the other
So-
biggest disappointment of my year
Oh, I think we
was
picked the same one.
Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah, I picked the same one.
I picked mine based solely on reputation because I hadn't played any really
Me
terrible
too.
games. I chose The Avengers.
Oh, but still.
So my issue with The Avengers is that you're playing as a team of literal superheroes, and it looks like the most boring slog that I've ever watched.
That one's
many-
also going through a 2.0
How many
revamp.
how many superhero games have you played that
Most of them.
really made you feel like you're Spider-Man?
Oh, definitely all
Well,
of them.
Spider-Man is a bad example.
I know.
How many? But you really feel like Batman.
Well, you really feel like Assassin's Creed in most of the Batman
Would you
games,
shut up
so-
about Assassin's Creed?
No, but I'm just saying because the combat is
in
very
the
similar. I'm not
shin.
saying anything bad about
Oh
it.
yes, the Arkham combat is very
Arkham
similar.
combat
to,
is very similar.
that's
to
why they
Assassin's
call
Creed.
it Arkham Combat. Is because it's really similar to Assassin's Creed.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Watch Dogs Legion because I've mainly like off reputation, like you said. I haven't played the game, but
I put 45 hours into it before I was like, I can't do it. Like, I'm barely into the main story. Actually, I don't even know.
At least there
because
is
I
a
don't,
main story.
Because I don't. There is a main story in Avengers,
well,
but
think
I
that's
just
to
don't
say.
But it's
care about
Squirrel Girl.
anything.
Squirrel Girl is dope.
She is dope,
Squirrel
but,
Girl
but
is
try
dope.
saying her name.
Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl.
Look, I'm Ninja
You accepted
Squirrel,
up
so-
the first time, but give me a break.
I'm
I-
Ninja
sound
Squirrel,
like
so I'm
Groot.
partial. But Watch Dogs Legion. So we all know, especially at this table, that Ubisoft is like my favorite publisher and developer.
Yes.
And this year was just a disappointment.
Yeah, they
I've been
dropped the
looking
ball.
forward to Watch Dogs Legion since Watch Dogs 2.
Well, you should have told me because I could have let you know that wasn't going to pan out.
Well, so one thing I will say for Ubisoft
Hacker man.
is... Shut up. One thing I will say for Ubisoft is they're really good at making big worlds and big choices, I'll say. So this was really a choice to do, like, you can play anyone. And I think it really bit them in the butt because the game is so boring. And I don't care about any single one of my characters except the ones that I've, like in quarantine, I've, like, written stories for these characters for myself. And that
Yeah.
makes it a little bit more fun. But, like, I have to make my own fun because I spent $130 on this because I got the super duper collector's edition.
God.
Or I got the ultimate edition
Well,
because
that's actually
because
fine
it's
for an Ubisoft
Ubisoft.
fan, yeah.
I like it's expected of me,
And
frankly.
especially knowing you, yeah.
Well,
like,
I have a wrench statue in my permanent stream setup. Like, I love Watch Dogs. I love Watch Dogs 2. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And Legion is just such a letdown.
I think this is
And
like
it's even in
more of an
London.
argument for how bad the game is. But
I agree.
So
but in Avengers, you just press square forever.
I mean, have you played Dragon Ball
Avengers
Fighters?
looked like
Great
it was
game.
going to be
You
bad
still
from
do
the
same
beginning.
thing.
I disagree. I think Avengers looked like it was going to be fun.
I
knew from the second trailer.
When they told me,
I never
that
look
Square-
up to superhero games anymore unless they're Lego games.
have you played? Okay,
Oh, word.
We'll get into this
True,
later.
right? Okay, well, I mean, we can get into it on here, but also, so what
Well,
I
it's
want to
gonna be
say,
a bit
what I
of a
want to say about
segue.
Watch Dogs is that I've been watching Penguinzio
Critical.
Critical Charlie. Like, he's one of my favorite YouTubers. Has been for like 10 fucking years. I've been watching him forever. I've never seen him shit on a game so much as he did on Watch Dogs Legion.
I don't think I have as much as Watch Dogs Legion. I went on a whole Twitter rant
And
about
that's also another good point to like why I picked this game for worst game.
It's
but-
me, and I hate it.
But I love superhero brawlers, and this is a
But
really
it was
bad
gonna
one.
be
You
bad.
played DCUO.
Huh? DC Online?
Yeah.
Played that one. It's garbage, but it's not as bad as this.
But still, it's garbage. Is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. These superhero games, they don't put enough time into, and they never will. Unless
I
it's
feel like-
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man does not count. That's
Spider-Man
is so
Sony-
good.
Other Spider-Man,
Sony treats
Spider-Man
him
2,
so good.
Batman Arkham,
Yeah,
Batman
kind of.
Arkham 2,
Well,
Batman
like,
for
Arkham
games.
3.
wise, yeah, but
For games, they're
for
like,
games, yes,
I
they
don't
treat
think-
him well.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like with that game itself, like I had no expectations. I thought it was going to be exactly what the rest of the Avengers games were. It was
There are
just
no other
garbage.
Avengers games.
Yes, there are.
And like,
I've played
Oh,
other
there's like,
Avengers
yeah,
games.
there's like,
well, there's Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
no, there.
that's
well,
actually what I saw this was going to be compared to the most. It was going to be like that, but in
They
3D.
stopped making movie tie-in games after Captain America, which was a remarkably okay game.
I wish I still made those because now I can stream and I want to play more bad games, and I think that would be so fun.
Now that I'm old enough, I can stream and stuff.
I mean,
Captain
I didn't
America
have the
joking,
was
capabilities
I'm
to stream 3 years ago.
Captain America
joking,
was a
I'm
pretty
sorry.
good game. There's
And
a
Baby.
slew of amazing Spider-Man games. There's a
Yeah.
slew of great Batman games.
Yeah,
Like-
but we're not talking
And
about DC. We're
Avengers
talking about Marvel.
is-
I
bad.
expected this to be good.
No.
I
don't know why.
Even my favorite
Yeah.
fighting game is a superhero game.
Smash.
One
That's
thing I
weird.
will
They're not
say-
superheroes.
One thing I will wait, Kung Fu Panda's not superhero.
Injustice is DC.
We forgot to get a
Again,
match in before we recorded.
I'm so glad because it would have turned into 10,
It would have turned into
and I would
me.
have left.
But
And we also, one thing
I will say
s-
that those are two different things. You can't say DC games compared to Marvel games.
Well, like,
Sorry,
most of
unrelated.
the Marvel games are good.
we do need to
No.
kind of wrap it up soon because it's going to start raining soon and turn into
Oh
winter.
yeah, I mean we're on the last one after this.
No,
so.
I know. I just want to
Okay,
let you guys know.
I mean,
before we do
picked-
that, I just want to say Captain America,
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man 2, Sony's Spider-Man, Miles Morales,
yeah, all these Spider-Mans.
Hulk.
I get it.
it's a lot of single player
Hulk
games.
wasn't-
Hulk, Ultimate Destruction.
No,
This is really fun for me. Keep listing
Like
games.
these are all
Yeah.
very good superhero
no,
games.
And they're also all
Hulk?
single player.
Yes,
No,
yes. Hulk Ultimate Destruction is one
I'm
of
gonna
the most.
just play on my phone
not a
for a
good
bit
game.
while they're
It
arguing
is.
about
You ever
this.
play Prototype? That's a better Hulk game than
Watch
Hulk.
Dogs Legion
That's-
has
they're the
won this
same game.
category.
No, they're
Prototype
not the
ripped
same,
off Ultimate Destruction.
but better.
No, it didn't. Why would I need to use guns when I have big knife hands?
You don't need to use guns because you have big knife
Then why does
hands.
Prototype
rage.
make so much gunplay stuff?
I don't know. Why does Cyberpunk make so much gunplay stuff when you could just use a fucking sword?
I think Avengers
Options,
is
Tanner.
the worst
There's
game of the
actually
year.
there is an ad in Cyberpunk that says the only thing that can beat a bad guy with a gun is a bigger gun. And it's a really graphic, like you see a guy coming around a corner with a gun, and it's like the gun that's being advertised, and his like wife or girlfriend or whatever, her brains are splattered across the wall.
Jesus.
It's so dark. Anyway, Watch Dogs,
I
it
think Watch
hurts.
Dogs is a big disappointment, but I think Avengers is the worst game.
I think Watch Dogs
I think
is the
Watch
worst.
Dogs is the worst. Sorry, Tanner.
I feel like I could still have at least some fun in it, and I don't feel like Avengers could
don't-
provide
I will
that.
tell you, no,
I really don't think you
you
can.
can't. Oh, especially you. I
I
think you
like
would.
open world sandboxes, though.
Here's
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
one thing that I
They're
love
neat.
about Ubisoft games is the side quests. Well, just like being able to, or giving me a reason to explore, and especially in Odyssey, I think a lot of them were like fetch quests, but then some of them were just so quirky and weird and fun. In Legion, I've played one side quest, and it's the only one I've found, and I've been all over London, and that's so like disappointing. And there's no like the story. I don't care, and that's the whole reason I'm playing is because it's a single player game. The multiplayer even got delayed, so it's not even like I can do anything other than the single player. It makes me fired up. I've got a whole thread online on Twitter about it, about how just awful it is and how much of a letdown. And I think part of why I'm so upset about it is it's such a big letdown, but I think it's also the worst letdown of the year. Therefore, my worst game of the year. And I played Cyberpunk.
I'll take you up on that.
I mean, fine, whatever.
All right.
Thank you.
So we're done with this.
Not that invested in this.
Let's go.
I
category.
am. I'm so invested
We
and
should
upset.
be more invested in the game of the year.
Game of the year. Guess what I'm gonna choose?
Yeah, go ahead. You can go first. You can start this
we
one
know
off.
what she's going to
Well, I
choose.
know, but still, for the listeners.
I think it's obvious to everybody.
But still.
Animal Crossing.
Okay, go ahead with your real one.
Ghost of Tsushima. It's one of the most fun I've had playing a new game in years and years. And I've played just so many good, fun games in the last few years. And this one, I don't want to say it blows them out of the water, but it came at just the right time that was really needed. It came out in July, which was about the midway point of me losing it at GameStop. Can we bleep that?
Yeah, I
at
got
the
you.
stop.
You've
And-
already talked about it so many times.
I know.
You just want me to bleep them all out? Make
No.
my job harder?
Well, I already put one up on the last
That's
last
fine.
episode.
They're not going to fire me, but they might sue me. I don't know. But it just
They
it
can't
came
sue
at
you
just
for
the
that.
right time. I feel like
They can't.
no, they wouldn't.
It'd
I got
literally be
receipts.
a waste of their time, too.
I'm talking bad about them.
Well, you're talking bad about the experience, not about them.
Cut that.
I will cut that. though.
On it. So
You have anything else to say in this span of time?
No,
so
she
that
concedes
I can
her
spread it
time.
out?
what's his name?
No, go ahead and talk more about
You asked, I answered. So just like it was really, really refreshing in lots of directions, like the art itself, specifically like the actual style, the way it tells stories with like cutaways and watercolor and deep inks.
These are all the things I did not like about it.
Really?
Yes.
I like all that. will say.
The way that you interact with the world was so refreshing.
It was neat.
And I think it can get old, but it's just like it's one of those things. It's so unique. Like I don't even care. The multiplayer is so fun, and it's just like it's not a perfect game. Like I said, the story's pretty basic, but it just makes me so happy. And I'm getting goosebumps right now. Like I love the game, and I love how it makes me feel. And I love the gameplay, and I also like the range of the gameplay as well, because you can go in and kill everybody. You can face off with them, or you can sneak around.
Yeah.
And I know that's not new at all, but it does affect the main character, and you can see that. And even the environment around you, if you play more the assassin route, there'll be storms more often to represent the storm inside of him. It's just like little touches like that, because that's just one example, but it's the whole game. Just every corner is built with love. And it's one of my favorite games of all time, pretty easily. Definitely my game of the year.
Cool. What
Bailey.
you got, Tanner?
Oh, I was gonna let you go.
No, I'll go last, actually, because I don't think either of y'all will agree with me on mine.
I don't know if I can convince anyone to agree with me either.
But still, just go ahead.
Mine is Miles Morales.
I
I
think
would-
it deserves some spotlight. for
I would
sure.
love to be able to play it.
There
Yeah.
is that
I
issue.
have so,
But that's
just to
a
be
hardware
clear,
issue.
I have a PS5. It just doesn't like Miles.
I've played it.
It crashes.
I had a lot
So-
of fun with it.
I will say one of the few stories that got me a little choked up by the end of it. I have played through the entire thing twice. I've platinumed it. I've done literally everything that you can do in that game.
He was giving us live updates.
I was. The most fluid mechanics in any game like that, I'd say. The world is worth exploring, which is neat. Great story. Just a lot of really cool stuff, you know?
Hell yeah.
It's like, and it's happy.
Yeah.
It's real happy. I like that.
I think it's a good game for sure. I got to play that one.
Also,
so.
you make a beat in it, and it's kind of dope.
You get to make a beat?
Yeah, you and your uncle make a beat.
That's sick.
Uncle Aaron.
Nice. So for me, I picked something that wasn't really a game that came out this year, but it was more...
What are we talking about then?
It was more of something that happened this year with this game that kind of, like, resurged it, that it, like, nothing else could have happened with an older game this way for this community as well. Slippy is basically one guy who he quit his job and for 6 months worked on rollback netcode for Super Smash Bros. Melee. So I know it's not going to win, and I think that's very
Dolphin
fair.
Emulator.
I think, well, he didn't make Dolphin,
Oh,
but
just kidding.
Dolphin is a part of it, and it's more of a mod so that you can play online with people.
Yeah.
And
I
think
see
that's
you on that all the
huge.
time on Discord.
I think that's
That is a big thing.
huge
Yeah.
for 2020 as a whole because everybody was inside. There was, for Melee players in general, and there are a bunch of pro players, there's a huge scene around it. You couldn't do anything this year. And then when that came out, it was huge because rollback netcode basically feels like, and I've put so many hours into this game, like into Slippy too, like the rollback netcode. It feels like you're sitting right next to somebody and there's no lag or anything. And
It's better than Nintendo's
fucking-
online.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And a lot of Ultimate players switched over to Melee because the online was better, which is insane because this is like a fan-made thing. And of course, Nintendo had to come and be like, "Hey, you can't fucking do that. We're gonna fuck all this up." But they can't really get rid of it.
Yeah.
But any tournaments that involve it, they shut down.
Yeah.
Which is like, hey,
Shout
a
out
big,
Nintendo.
Yeah, I would really like to give Nintendo a huge shout out right now and just say fuck you. Like seriously fuck you for trying to destroy a community that has been keeping itself alive cuz Nintendo never fucking helped Melee in any way. They took them off of MLG. In the MLG League used to be a Super Smash Bros. Melee like circuit.
Yeah.
And it got taken off because Nintendo didn't like it. And this is just like something that's been building up with the whole community. Like, and I'm fine. Like, I obviously don't think this is going to win Game of the Year, but this is something that needs to be fucking said. Like, Nintendo fucked up bad, and they're continuously fucking up with this game because, like, it's iconic. It's iconic. It's keeping the whole scene itself alive. They could never continuously put out Smash games and bring more people in if Melee wasn't as big as it was.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Like, I don't know. I will definitely concede to y'all on this. I just really wanted to get this message out, I guess. More so, I think that this guy that quit his job just to make rollback netcode for Melee was, like, really fucking, like, how would you say, admirable? Like,
You got it.
yeah, like it's super cool, and like it's somebody that cares so much about the scene and wants to see it grow more, and it did. Like with Slippy coming out, I hadn't played Melee since I had a GameCube, and then when it came out, I still have my GameCube disc for it, so legally I can play it on my PC because I can just ROM it over. So Nintendo can't do shit to me, and that's the whole point of it.
That's a gray
is
area,
like,
but
no, it's not. It's really not. If you own the game, you can ROM it over and you can play it on your PC legally.
so I mean, I've been dabbling in this as well.
Yeah,
There's-
of course.
Legally,
I'm not sharing it with anybody.
well, yeah, but legally, so you have a license to play it, but if you were to bypass any DRM, that becomes a separate crime.
Yeah, but there's not. There's not, because it's such an old. This game is 20 years old now.
Yep. Something like that.
It's there's nothing. There's
I
no
think
like legal
I
constructs
was like
around
9
it.
when it came out.
Besides Nintendo saying, "Hey, this is
Hold on.
our IP. You can't do this,"
Wait, how
and
old
it's
am I?
literally killing the community itself. But I think that deserves some notice, and people who aren't into Smash should maybe try it out. I think the game's a lot of fun.
Melee came
Yeah.
out in 2001?
Yeah.
Yep. That sounds about right.
Yeah. But
It's 19 years old?
Yep.
yeah,
20.
that's what I was saying, about 20.
Well, November.
Mm-hmm. But
My sister's turning 20 this year.
gross. Weird. Think about my little sister. She's like 16 now. Ugh. I don't like to think about that because she was so little when I was in high school. But anyways, yeah. I'm willing to concede to either of y'all's. Just because I don't think this is the game of the year at all. But
It is worth noting.
It did
Yeah.
deserve some
Noted.
recognition.
It's probably the
For
game of the
sure.
year 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It was. But I think this was a huge development for the scene itself, and I think that it deserves to even be recognized as maybe game of the year, because it's a game that had a huge resurgence just from one guy quitting his job to make some, like, do some programming, you know?
Yep. I get that.
Exactly. But anyways, yeah, let's talk more about y'all's games. So you got Ghost of Tsushima, and you picked
Miles Morales.
Miles Morales.
Which I think...
I love both of those games.
Also, real quick, we have 2 PlayStation exclusives, and neither are Last of Us.
True.
We are breaking barriers today.
Well, to be honest, I think The Last of Us probably shouldn't have even been in the Game Awards
I mean,
for some of it. I think
I
that
hear it
Laura
was
Bailey
good.
deserved
I hear it
everything
was
she got, but
neat, you know?
Yeah.
just because she's a
It's
great
just,
voice actress.
it's
But
just such a heavy game that I don't feel like
And they
getting
also,
into
like,
it.
really goofed up their producers, like, creating such realistic gore for some things, because they actually had to, like, look at
Well,
actual...
I think that was a really intentional choice, was to make it visceral.
Sure, but that's also, like, super terrible for the people whose job it was to find gore. Like, that will
Yeah.
traumatize you
I worked in moderation for
people like
2K,
doing that.
so
for a minute.
there are people that are fine with it.
yeah,
No, I get that. It's just one of those, like, I don't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah.
I guess as long as they weren't killing people to get the gore.
Just to double check.
Yeah.
I need to mocap me destroying
just
your
dying.
head.
Yeah, like I was saying with
Good night.
fucking the dog from Fallout 4. I was like, did they mocap it dying? Like, but
I think Miles Morales objectively has a better story. And subjectively,
well, yeah, but
I
I think visual wise, I would give it to Ghost.
Me too.
I agree, but
And then gameplay wise,
We've already-
it's kind of a toss up. I like them both gameplay
I
wise.
like
we've already
the-
given art direction to Ghost of Tsushima.
and I
so-
want to give
I
it
don't-
Game of the
I
Year.
don't think we need to justify
Well-
that way.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is, if that's a point we're arguing, it's already won that.
Which really just proves my point.
But
which is true.
I don't. I liked it, but I didn't like all of it. The gameplay that it has was fun, but I don't think it nails what it was trying to do.
I disagree.
I think there are other games that do that style of combat better.
Wait, I forgot to say something. Hashtag free melee.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm good.
Whereas I think Miles Morales nails everything that it tried to do, which is
Not running on Emily's system.
do the first Spider-Man, but give people the story of Miles
I'm
Morales.
literally
Yeah.
just going to leave this one up to y'all. Like, I trust you guys to pick the game of the year.
No, you gotta choose.
I really can't.
Because
'cause I
I'm dying on this hill. He's
really
dying on this
fucking
hill.
like both of them. I think y'all need to argue more. I think that's what the listeners want as well.
I think that Miles is a great game. I think that it is. I mean, it sold for $40,
Yeah.
and I think that's what it was. It was
Wait,
a
it sold
partial
for
game
40?
because it's not
That's
it's not like a
dope.
full
That's actually
game.
good though.
Yeah, for sure. But it's not like it's not as big as original Spider-Man, and the Spider-Man release was even bigger.
Yeah, that goes like for it and against it at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it's not a full game, but also like recognizing that it's not a full game and putting it out for $40 says a lot.
Yeah.
Especially like in this day and age where you're putting out Cyberpunk
I mean, I
and saying
paid
like, hey, this is a full game,
And it's
charging,
fixed and it works.
charging full price
And it'll
for
be
it.
all of these things that it's not.
Which,
I did
granted,
pay.
Sony did do refunds, but anyways, continue.
Yeah,
sorry.
I did pay $70 for Miles so that I could also get the
Yeah.
digital copy of original, even though the physical copy gives you the free upgrade, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I have the digital or the physical copy for PS4, but now I don't have to switch it out.
Fine.
But
I think there's a lot in Miles Morales that also needs to be looked into as far as the visuals go. Because Ghost of Tsushima has really
All right, I think I'm ready.
nice, relaxing visuals. Hang on.
I think I'm ready to just
no,
pick
yeah,
one.
the Spider-Verse suit is actually
the Spider-Verse
super
suit,
cool.
but all
Oh,
of
that is super cool.
the new character designs, the new suit designs are really cool.
Mm-hmm.
They came up with a lot of original ones. The Miles Morales I think it's the 2020 suit is my favorite with the visor face that changes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they did a lot as far as character design goes with the new Tinkerer and a lot of stuff there. There's a lot to look into there that isn't as stylized,
Oh, speaking...
but still looks very cool.
Sorry, are you finished?
You're
I
good.
started to interrupt you and then I realized I shouldn't. So, speaking of community when it comes to these games, so Tsushima is a real island because this is based on like a real thing that happened. And one of the great torii gates was it was heavily damaged in a typhoon over the summer. They were trying to raise money to get it fixed.
She's trying to get out.
She's trying to escape.
She's okay. She's fine.
That's how she learns.
Cats are strong.
She scared me, so I was like, no.
Continue.
But yeah, so one of these like great gates, it's called like the Great Gate or something, on the island. It got heavily damaged by a typhoon over the summer, so they were raising money for it online to try to repair it, and it ended up raising like 3 or 4 times the goal because of the fans of the game. Because now the fans are invested in like that island and the ancient culture, really, because those Torii gates have been standing for so long. And like the community and the tourism is going to explode after COVID dies down enough that we can actually go.
Oh, yeah.
Like Sam and I are planning a trip to Japan and we're definitely stopping at Tsushima. And I think that in my opinion, like, so the Miles Morales game is incredible. Don't get me wrong. I love it when it works on my system. But it felt like Spider-Man, the old one, the predecessor.
Yeah, which was
is not a bad
very
thing
good.
because that was also really good. But Tsushima just felt so much like its own experience to me. Mm-hmm. And like I said earlier, like really refreshing. All the side quests that you can do, like the haikus and finding the foxes and the fox
The
dens.
haikus are really funny too. They
Yes.
can't be
The
at
haikus
least.
are
They're not good for haikus.
No,
I
they're
understand
not. They're,
that.
from a poetry
But
perspective, they
they're
are
very
not
bad.
good.
But it's very like it's one of those things that you can go and you can do it, and you really do sit there in nature with Jin and take it in.
There's another side to this coin. The Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I mean, I don't want to detract from that because that's really incredible.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that happened. Spider-Man, it also highlighted a lot of important social issues for me, though.
That's true.
There was a big Black Lives Matter memorial, a big pride flag. And I thought it was funny because they give you a special suit for completing like all the objectives. You become like Harlem Spider-Man, and the people make you a suit. And it takes a video every time you get an achievement. You get an achievement for getting the suit, and you have to pick up the suit in front of the pride wall, and that's the screenshot that it takes. And I just think that's fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is
So,
great.
and especially with everything that was going on in the world this year, in America
in
this
the
year,
summer, yeah.
I think there was a lot that game did to try to raise awareness and a sense of
Raise a voice for it too.
a voice,
Yeah, definitely.
a sense of solidarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What say you, Bailey?
I'm ready to choose.
Choose.
Since mine was not game of the year, I will say, because it's a game from 19 years back or whatever.
roughly,
But I think for game of 2020 that Miles Morales deserves it.
Thank you.
I think Ghost of Tsushima is like a great fucking runner-up, though, for the uniqueness and
Definitely.
like coming in. But I think for 2020 itself, that Miles Morales is a better game from what I've heard from y'all's arguments. I'm a fucking sucker for Japanese culture in general. So
What?
and
I think-
I'm
I am
not,
too.
and I could just turn on that game and sit with it on the TV
Exactly.
like the whole day.
And the music is
it's
so
a
beautiful.
whole ass vibe.
Oh,
Yeah.
my vinyl
Definitely
finally came in.
Oh, did it?
Yes, it's
Nice.
gorgeous. I've been listening to it while I'm at work, and it's just so calming and centering, and like, ugh.
But when
I'm a big simp for this game, and it's
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think it's a great game. I think it is. I think this was a very hard choice for me, especially. But I think it does come down to more so like story-wise too, and emotional impact, and I feel like Miles Morales would do that more for me than
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima, which
And
it's still kind of like it's hard.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
hard choice. It's not like a clear winner, but
I think
it just does. Like
I think Miles Morales also means a lot to a lot of people that aren't us.
exactly,
So-
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I think it's huge for like the world as a whole.
Yeah.
like, and I think Ghost of Tsushima is also like big on that, like
yeah.
cultural wise, but just like this is something that
It's more of an
we really
evergreen-
needed for
yeah.
2020, you know.
Yeah.
Like more to bring people together and stuff, and I think it's great. And I'm also like, one of my favorite movies of all time is Enter the Spider-Verse, and it
Yes.
Yeah.
it always will be, just because of like
Oh, just a beautiful
not
movie.
not just like it literally hits every point. The soundtrack, the animation, the voice acting, like
Yeah.
everything just hits. The story, like it's just fucking great. So like bringing that to a game, and especially like touching on that with like the suit you can put on to where it feels like the movie.
And you can turn on and off that animation style too.
12 frames per
'cause
second.
Yeah.
It does kind of hurt sometimes,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
also really neat.
Yeah. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, the game's in 60 frames a second, so it is kind of hard to watch the 12 frames a second.
yeah.
But
But
also, that might have just been my system because it hated.
no,
hates
it's,
that
it's,
game.
It's like that. It is
It's
really
it's
like
really
that. It gets
cool, but
hard
then it's like,
sometimes.
all right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I did the same thing. I played with it for like 30 minutes, and then I was like, okay, this is cool, but I want to get back to
I
like
have
the-
acknowledged that this
how the
exists.
game
Yeah.
should be played.
Also, I do like the Ultimate Edition that I bought. It was like, all right, you get 2 suits for free, and one of them is definitely Spider-Verse. And I was like, yeah, thank you. Because I think otherwise you have to, like, get
Oh, yeah,
certain
they-
achievements or
They
something.
needed to.
No,
And
find
it's
you,
like, thank you.
If you pre-ordered it as well, you get them.
Okay,
Well, I mean,
cool.
like, through normal gameplay, I think you have to, like,
I
Do
did not,
XYZ.
but maybe.
well, because we both pre-ordered it.
Yes.
I picked it up for you.
Yes.
But I respectfully concede,
Okay, cool.
but
I think
as
Ghost of
long as Tsushima
deserves
is
a
game
lot.
of the year 0.5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It was definitely
is.
not an easy choice.
No.
I literally like.
It was for me, but also, like I said, like it just means a lot to me when it came out, because it came out like right before I moved in here. It just like
I remember
yeah,
we played.
yeah. You walked into your office, and I was just there in my PJs for like 12 hours straight when I wasn't at work. So it just came at a really good time. The collector's edition also is the coolest collector's edition. I know I've said this so many times.
It's a very
sick.
neat
but
mask.
it's the
So sick.
coolest collector's edition I've had in my life. Also, the war banner I got, and the map, and the steelbook and the art book that it came with. And then I also got a separate art book. I love the art in it. And then I also got the soundtrack on vinyl, like all the music or all the artsy aspects. I fell in love with this game hard, obviously. And I didn't as much with Miles, but again, like my system is broken, and also it wasn't going to mean as much to me as Tsushima was. But that's the way it goes. I think that it got Game of the Year People's Choice for Game Awards, and I think it deserved that. I don't necessarily think that Last of Us 2 should have been in the running, and I think if it wasn't, Tsushima would have won. But
I don't share those negative feelings toward The Last of Us 2. I just didn't play it, so I didn't feel
I have
comfortable talking about it.
I have no feelings towards it. I didn't like the first one.
I'm sure if I played it, like I'd
Sold.
get into it, but it just seems so heavy, and like I have so much else going on that I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
you know.
I get that for sure.
So, but
Yeah.
like one day I'll want heavy, and then I'll do that.
Yeah.
But
Cannot relate. I won't ever watch Eternal
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I'm not gonna watch that because
You should.
I am never gonna be in an
It's
emotional
good.
place where I can
500
handle
Days
it.
of Summer.
That's another great movie.
And that
that
I'm never
movie.
gonna watch because I know I'm never gonna be in the right spot to watch
Yeah.
it. It's gonna send me in a spiral, and I just know it.
Well, they're both on the server if you want to watch.
I know because you keep trying to get me to watch them,
Yeah.
and I won't.
Also, Advent Children. That's on there.
Okay.
Oh, that is a good one to watch.
I also
It's
need to
like-
watch Akira. Can we watch Akira next?
Ooh.
Maybe.
Maybe
I would
he
totally
says.
be
Talk
down
about
to
it.
watch Akira.
What to talk
I
about?
think it's the
about it.
perfect time for what's going on right now.
There's a lot that's appropriate
There's a
for
lot
what's
of,
going on right
political
now.
views.
Like
Yeah.
White House down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
But-
bad movie. But anyway,
Yeah.
this is not
It's
that podcast.
it's a bad time.
This isn't that podcast.
But anyways.
So to go over all of the winners again, I'm going to read down the list. So for best ongoing game, we did vote Animal Crossing. For the best remake, Final Fantasy VII. Best
Yay.
party game, Mario Kart Live.
Yay.
Best family game, Animal Crossing again.
Yay.
Indie game, Bug Snacks. Multiplayer,
Okay.
Tony Hawk. Art
I
direction,
got one.
Ghost of Tsushima. Story, Persona 5 Royal. Best bad game, Maneater. Worst good game, Cyberpunk.
Man-eater.
Worst
That's fine.
game, Watch Dogs Legion. And Game of the Year, Miles Morales.
That sounds perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, sounds good.
We're so well rounded.
We are.
I think it's fun.
We got Ghost of Tsushima, Animal Crossing, and Watch Dogs Legion all on the same list. Who would have thought?
Right? I mean, not much else happened this year with games because of the
I was
pandemic.
gonna say, dude, a lot
I was
happened
like,
this
what?
year. Like,
yeah.
were you
I was
paying
like, tons
attention?
happened. Yeah, no, a lot of games.
Well, I'm
got-
saying with gaming,
Yeah.
there's a lot pushed back, a lot like
Yeah. And then some honorable mentions to throw in. We've got
I feel like
Like
we
Among
have to
Us,
throw in Last of Us 2
Last
as
of
well.
Us. There was one I was
I
going to
hear
mention
it is
earlier. I can't
quite
remember.
good.
Subliminal is a great indie game that I was
Superliminal.
also gonna. Superliminal. I keep saying Subliminal. I don't know why. Superliminal, for indie games.
What the golf?
What the golf? Please,
indie
I'm not
game.
gonna drink it.
Nikki
I
the Home
know.
Alone golf ball.
I know. I'm not endorsing that one.
Nikki.
That came out years ago.
Man, I had a whole list of honorable mentions.
I played we used to do best VR game, but
Squadrons, Star Wars Squadrons.
I haven't played it yet. I'd really like to. It's
really
Yeah,
good.
I have
It's
not touched VR this
really
past year,
good.
so
I played Vader,
Oh, I
which I
played-
think came out last year.
Yeah, I played it with you.
Yeah,
I was
that
living
neat.
here.
Yeah, I like that one.
I played Beat Saber for the first time this year.
That
oh,
game's
Beat
sick.
Saber's so sick.
I forgot all my honorable mentions because none of those are the ones I was going to mention.
It's okay. I think
Lots
I
of good
think
games come out.
Melee
this
gets
year.
a good honorable mention and a good fuck you Nintendo.
Yep.
And I will gladly say that publicly. So,
Hold on, let me.
and we'll continue to say that until they fucking fix what they've done wrong.
Oh, we should give Astros an honorable mention.
Astros.
Oh yeah, Astros
Best
as well.
little thing that came out.
Best like tutorial game.
Yeah.
To a system, I feel like.
Best,
Also,
like,
only a tutorial game to a system.
Pre-packaged pack-in game.
I think it's great. I think it was a lot of fun.
Yes, honorable mentions: Hades,
Oh, Hades as well, yeah.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh, yeah. The second one,
I
right?
haven't played it, but
Yeah.
I just assume it's going to be good based on the first one.
Yeah. Demon Souls.
Oh, yeah. That was up for remake for me, but I didn't.
I haven't
play
played it. Yeah,
Me neither,
I'd
but
like
it's really
to play
good.
it, but I don't know that I have the.
But I feel like
patience.
it's also
Microsoft
just-
Flight
it's just-
Sim.
Haven't played it,
Oh,
but when
Flight
it comes
Simulator.
when it comes to Xbox, I'll be hearing about it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Yafaja?
Yep. He's got his like flight stick. He's got the
He's, like,
flight headset.
ready.
He's ready. Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think this was a really great year for gaming. I think it was good for resurgence
Oh,
of...
sorry. Paper Mario.
yeah,
Really
yeah.
good.
Didn't play it.
I think you would like it. It's actually like really dark in some spots. Like it's actually really good.
I think like story-wise it was good. I think gameplay-wise I wouldn't enjoy it as much as older Paper Mario games.
Yeah.
Just because I'm looking for more of an RPG than like just playing through a game, I guess. Because there's no like leveling up system or anything. you
Which
know?
is always true for me. So
Deadly Premonitions 2. That
know.
one's for me. I love the
Phasmophobia,
first.
was that this year?
Phasmophobia
That was this year. I actually
really
just got
good.
that yesterday. So
We should all play it.
I haven't played it yet.
I
I
think
have
we should
it.
play it.
I'll get
We
it.
should. We should do that maybe for like a little Spoop Troop stream or something.
That could
Yeah, that'd be
fun.
fun.
I think would be great.
Age of Calamity, the Zelda.
Oh
game.
yeah. I've heard decent things about it. I also heard that it gets very boring halfway through, but that's a Warriors game. Like that's how it goes.
Yeah, I'd like to try it for the story stuff that it adds.
Mario
but
3D All Stars. I think is really cool.
I'm still angry about the way that game is handled.
Sure.
That's okay.
I still get to play Sunshine on something that isn't a GameCube that shuts down every half hour.
64 also. Great fucking game.
It is.
All I've been watching lately is like 64 speedruns.
I'm just mad that they're
Do you know that
pulling
there's people that do that blindfolded?
That
No,
was
could not be
fake,
me.
wasn't
No,
it?
Well, one of them was, but there's a Japanese kid who does it like he does it blindfolded. The guy who faked it came out and said the other day that it was supposed to be a joke.
Resident
is
Evil
stupid.
3
Oh yeah, definitely for a remake. I think
Yeah.
that's a good one.
was a great. Like I
Shout
even
out
played it.
the Resident Evil movies.
Dreams came out this
No.
year.
Yes,
What's
that's the
Dreams?
hill I will die on.
Dreams is
Dreams has been out forever. It just came
well, it
out
was in
this
beta,
year.
but it came out 2020.
And I'm mad about
Oh,
Dreams.
is that the
as
one where
well.
you can make your own games?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an engine basically, like Unity or something like that.
Mhm.
But they own everything you make in it. So
But also, people have gotten jobs from it, so it's not like
That's cool then.
yeah,
Half-Life Alyx came out this year.
Oh yeah, that'd probably be up for. a
I'd
good
like to
VR
try
game.
that when I have $900 for Steam whatever.
Yeah.
What do they call theirs?
Well, it's a
My friend Pedro came out this year for some systems.
really for some systems.
I love my friend Pedro.
That one's so good. I played it on Game Pass.
Have you
It's a fun
beaten it?
one.
Mm-mm.
The ending is very weird.
It's a fun
Yeah,
one
I
for
kind of
sure.
assume. Oh, I did get that spoiled for me the other day on accident. Let's see.
I think that Final Fantasy VII deserves a shout out, even though it already
Persona
got
4
Best
Golden
Remake.
too.
Yeah, Persona 4 Golden as well.
Jump Rope Challenge brought a lot of the world together on
Ring
the
Fit.
Switch. Ring Fit was last year
Oh.
or 2019. Wait,
Yeah, it was 2019 for sure.
yes.
But yeah, there was a lot of good games this year, and I think that a lot of them brought people together, which I think is something we really needed.
Yeah, for sure.
And some things that came even to PC, Death Stranding, Red Dead, those both did really well this year.
Still
Yeah.
hop on
the
Red
PC
Dead and play
market.
poker every now and then.
Me too, dude.
I think like resurgence of games like
Fall
Among
Guys.
Us, Fall Guys was new.
Sorry, yeah,
N-
Fall Guys.
yeah, not the
honorable
same thing you were
mention.
saying.
Also,
But, like Rust also is
Yeah.
coming back, and I think that's awesome because it's
That's
a very
Oh.
cool game.
weird.
No Straight Roads definitely gets an honorable mention. It's
Didn't play it.
Also, what is
it's really good.
The winter one?
mm-hmm. Road trip? No.
No,
Kentucky
no.
Route Zero?
No, it's has winter in the name, but it kind of got a resurgence this year as well.
Oh, Neverwinter,
Neverwinter?
No,
Marvel's Avengers. Shout out.
I'll look it up.
I was gonna say they put the girl from Celeste in Towerfall this year.
Ooh.
Oh, that's sick!
Yeah.
Shout out to Anxiety.
Genshin Impact came out this year.
I'm
It
gonna-
made a big impact.
gonna take a break while y'all are.
I think Genshin Impact deserves an honorable mention.
I'm almost through the list.
No, you're good. Take your time. Take your time. Project Winter is what it's called, and I think that's a good one
Ghost
as
Runner. I'm very excited to play that. I'm about to buy it when I get home. No More Heroes remake re-release came out this year. Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
well. Oh yeah, that did happen this year.
I've heard nothing but good things about that. Honestly, I like Valhalla. So that gets Forza Horizon 4 technically released this year on Xbox
Yeah.
Series X. That's also, I was so close to saying that as my ongoing game because I still play that all the time.
That's fair.
I love that game. Astro's Playroom, we've already said. Godfall apparently was really bad. Just Dance 2021 has Lizzo. I think I'm at December. I just want to make sure I didn't miss
Okay,
anything because
okay, that's fair.
I'll get home and then go, no, I meant to mention this.
Everybody deserves a mention. Well, not everybody, but
Yeah, you
Not
can see
Watch
how much I'm.
Dogs, but-
No, this says Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and Blade of Light. I don't know what that is, but
me either.
I need to know. Maybe it was just like a.
Like a re-release of something.
That's like it's got to be because I didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah, that would provide a whole new Smash character, so I'm assuming it's not new.
Super Meat Boy Forever.
Oh yeah.
And that's it. That's the list.
Cool.
But yeah, I just wanted to make sure I mentioned Resident Evil because I picked those up this year because we know that I hate horror because I'm a big baby. And I honestly had so much fun with those. And it was actually like some of my most successful streams was just a week of Resident Evil and me like crying to my like in my own room while people laughed at me. And that's all I've ever wanted. As long as they were laughing.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever wanted. But we'll sign off, I guess.
Yeah, once Tanner comes back, we can definitely do that.
We're signing off.
Oh, okay.
So you can find us at channel3media.com.
Mm-hmm.
At channel,
true.
is it channel 3? Yeah, at channel 3 pod on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at Ninja Squirrel, NJASQRL. And you can also find some of our other shows on channel3media.com. gmail.com, and the bio of me for the shows that I'm on consistently.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, and also Twitch all the time.
Cool.
I'm still Tanner on Twitter. That's pretty much it.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm at Basilbub on Instagram and Twitter. Twitch, I'm also Basilbub. It is spelled BAESILBUB. That's
correct.
2 eyes.
What?
That's an old joke. But anyways, yeah. Also, yeah, shout out to the other podcasts on this channel as well. I mean, they work hard. They do a lot of research into their shit, and it's a lot of fun to listen to. So definitely check those out. Well,
And,
it's like enough research.
Happy 2021.
But yeah,
Yeah,
2021.
Happy New
Hopefully this
Year.
looks up better than 2020. And
Definitely expect more of us because we got money for the first time. So here we come, baby.
Here we come.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
check us out at channel3media.com. We're also, wherever you find podcasts, you can find our other shows. Recommend us to your friends. It helps us out. That's the best way for us to grow. And leaving us reviews everywhere also is super helpful.
It's weird how much that algorithm takes into account
Yeah.
comments and reviews.
Yeah,
Like,
That's why I'm saying that.
That's
because
very heavily weighted in the
because
algorithm.
I love you guys, but you don't plug enough. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Here's the
so
thing
I
is,
know.
I don't want to sound like a YouTuber when I talk.
Right. That's
No,
why I'm
that's
doing it
fine,
for
that's
you.
fine.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Leave us a review. It's the best way to help us grow because the algorithm really does help us, and word of mouth is going to be the biggest way to get
So
us.
far, the algorithm does not help us. Let's be clear
Well,
about that.
it's going to.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
Anyway, channel3media.com. That's where you can also leave suggestions on topics you want us to talk about for any of our shows. We've got movies, film, wow, that's the same thing. We've got films, we've got games,
we've got movies, films, cinematics.
we've got
Talkies.
movies, we've got
What?
games,
Talkies, that's what they used to call
we've
them.
got spooky stuff. We've got something for everybody. But thank you guys so much for listening.
That's the 3 types of people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the 3 types of content I consume.
Also,
Quite literally.
feel free to leave a comment or tweet at us any suggestions on how y'all feel about the show or anything.
And what was your game of the year, too? Let us
Nice
know.
things only.
Yeah, definitely.
Please don't hurt my feelings.
No,
He's very sensitive.
mean things as well. Send them straight to me.
Yes.
But yeah, let us know what your game of the year was, what your worst game was. Just do them for all categories, honestly.
And tell us why we're wrong about not including Last of Us.
That's what I'm telling you. Just
Yeah.
like all these mean things, send them straight to me. But yeah, thanks for listening. Hit them.
Bye.
No, that's not what we wanted.
No, we play a soundbite at the end, so
Oh,
later,
cool.
nerds. Or whatever.
Yeah, there we go. Cool.
I'm not Wes. I
Bye.
don't feel right just doing that.
That's fair.